We are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicenda. I'm Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy in the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way is sitting down with those designers to play their games. Today, we are playing a game that I've been looking forward to since last Zine Quest. Last February. It's one of our most anticipated print releases of the year, and that's Torq by Will Jobst. Keegan, I did do the intro. How dare you think that I would not? Keegan, Sarah, whenever we get to you, Keegan wants to know how you changed so fast. Before we hear that exciting piece of information, though, let's hear from Will. Well, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and tell us a little bit about Torq.
Hey, I'm Will Jobst, game designer in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I publish games with Good Luck Press, including what we're playing today, Torq, Rally Raid Role-Playing. It is a tabletop game for 2 to 5 players built for single session and multi-session play. You're a driver, a traveler with special talents who ventures from community to community, helping any way they can. Torq is 2 games into one. It's half tactical crashing and bashing on an abstract road that scrolls, and it's other half freeform roleplay in a soft apocalypse of your own design. So we will be hitting the road today with the introductory adventure called Half Hardcore, which is all about teaching you how to play while still getting the characters into the world and into a new zone down this long highway. So I'm excited to play with everybody.
Awesome. I am super excited to play also. Let's meet the other folks that we're playing with. Let's start with the quickest changer in the soft apocalypse. Sarah, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online. Tell us also a little bit about how you got changed so quickly.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. I'm Osarix Franco. I do a variety of TTRPG content across incredible communities like this one. You can find me doing those things on places like Nat 20, Critical Misses, Neon Lights Roleplay, and TPK roleplay. I like playing games. It turns out. How I was able to get changed so fast is that like I'm actually like I have an interdimensional pocket that's just like right here that I just like reach in, rummage around a little bit, and pull stuff out. So I'm never without at least 20 costume pieces on my person at any given time. It's really helpful in my corporate meetings when I when I need to switch presentations. So
Awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what corporate has to say about it all. Let's kick over to one of my favorite folks to sit down and get a chance to play with. That's Aaron King. Aaron, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do? Also, tell us a little bit just about your mustache care routine.
My name is Aaron. You can find me on Twitter at AaronMFKing, and I grew this mustache as a joke for a half birthday karaoke party I just had. I think.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thanks. I think bodies are strange, and you can make jokes with them, such as growing a mustache. No offense to Tony's brand.
No, you know what? I'll be honest. There are very few people. I think until I was probably 24, I had never seen a person in real life who I thought that mustache looks good on. I think there are a few mental mustache prototypes we have. I think mustaches are the most hilarious thing you can do with a part of your body, in all honesty. So I'm very glad that you're
and if we get 50 viewers on this stream, I will shave this mustache.
You heard that, folks. Go retweet right now. Speaking of retweeting, we had a couple giveaway copies of Torq. We'll be doing one live here on stream. I'll open up that giveaway in just a moment. The other one is over on Twitter, not the go live tweet, but one we put out yesterday. If you follow both us and Good Luck Press and retweet that tweet, you can do it. You can also make car noises in the comments to get an extra entry. We'll pick that winner tomorrow, but also if you want to, we'll be giving away a copy here live on stream. But more importantly, you should go to ttrpg.link/torqgame. Unless, Will, do you have a cool URL for Torq that I just
It'll be goodluckpress.co, and you can find Torq there.
Cool. Awesome. Or go to the link below. It'll take you to the itch page and probably link out from there as well. That's it linked in the chat, and we'll update it later to put the physical from Good Luck on there as well. With that said, Will, I'm gonna hand things over to you. Normally we would talk about safety here. We did talk about it a little bit before stream, but Torq does a great job of onboarding you into the setting the tone, and talking about safety also. So I'm just gonna hand things over to you.
Cool. So hey everybody. Welcome to playing Torq with me. I'm excited. So like I said, we're going to be playing Half Hardcore, which is an introductory adventure. There's actually a Torq pocket rules that I put together over the last few weeks that I'll just post in the chat now if anybody who's watching wants to check it out. And
I may have to make you a VIP real quick. Hold on. I am happy to make you a VIP, Will, in order for you to be able to post links. Just give me 2 shakes, or you can drop it in Discord and I'll post it.
Yeah, and I can just I'll keep on rolling. Right. I'm just going to go right from the book because it's big and beautiful. Right. So today we'll be playing on a Miro board that will kind of walk us through how we get set up and everything. But first, let's go ahead and figure out the rules of the road that we want. The rules of the road is a sort of social contract that we have as drivers, that we work together, and we are part of the same convoy, and this also determines like how much player versus player stuff we want, or just the relationship between us and things like guns, or us and the communities that we visit. So for this session, we'll be playing the convoy rules, which is sort of the softest one, the most approachable. There's no guns. We're welcome in communities, and we look out and protect our fellow drivers. Additionally, we can stop the game at any time. We can personally stop and step away. We can veto any content using an X card, which will use a one in the Discord chat that we've got, or just saying X out loud, or making a big X with your hands or arms. And that you are safe at every rest stop. So in the full game, you'd spend a while writing your own rules if you wanted a long tailored game, but we set up lines and veils before stream. and we'll go ahead and start with making drivers. There are two ways to make drivers. You can go hard charging, which is kind of your randomized quick start, or the scenic route, which is kind of a more delicate character creation. We already have one driver set up with Tony's Cloudbuster, which is a secret backers only class, which is really cool to get some early access to that. That'll go live on the Torq Yodathon next week. So yeah, character creation is a snap. It's super easy. You take 2d6 to roll up what your cars are made of and what your person is made of. Meat and steel, I guess. And we'll just take it from there. So what are we feeling? Taking the scenic route or the hard charging?
I kind of want to do the hard charging just because I like the idea of the choices being made for me and like operating inside that.
Totally.
That scope.
And we'll get kind of a view of both of them and how they work because Tony's is a scenic route. Aaron, what's your vibe?
Uh-oh. Are you muted?
Oh,
Aaron,
you're
we
muted.
can't hear you.
Oh.
I did some hard charging beforehand.
Great, cool.
I got
We
my
will
2
hard
rolls.
charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, hard charging is for quick starts where you want to get on the road as soon as possible. Hard charging is like the arcade mode of Torq. There's a high degree of randomization. If you want a quirky group of weird and unbalanced drivers, we hard charge it. It just takes 2 rolls to make characters, one to determine the horsepower, which we'll talk about in a second, and another for the road or for the which determines your road actions, and then a second roll to determine your registration, which is the things you do at a rest stop. Cool. So let's get cooking. Let's see. So we got character sheets. Do we want to show this on stream?
I just set it up. I'm going to move some things around, so I'm recentering it. But yeah.
All right. The character sheet of Torq is a giant steering wheel.
This is very
In different areas, you've got your road actions on the left side and your rest stop stuff on the right side, and kind of your look and other details like that up top. So all drivers have HP, which is your horsepower. You are your car, so you and your car are represented by horsepower, which is a single kind of expression. Within your HP, there are brackets and pips. So each set of brackets represents a crash, and each pip represents health. So health is nested in crashes. Your car protects you. Without health, your car can't drive, and without crashes, your car can't exist. It's just you out there. And so that roll will also determine for us what our speed is in the form of a 0 to 60. So it's that number put together. The lower your 0 to 60, the faster you are, and the earlier in the turn order you'll go. And the higher your 0 to 60, the slower you'll go. So a big fat truck will probably have something like a 10 or a 12, so you'll go at the end of the turn or round. And if you're in a sweet, strange experimental car that's just like a big cheese wedge, it's probably a 1 or 2. You ever see that? They just are wedges. They just look like
wedges.
I just went wacky races like a mouse driving a big wedge.
cheese. Yeah, we could do that. And that's a great point. These cars can be as silly and as experimental as we want. A single HP, your horsepower could represent a fighter jet that has wheels on it, or it could be that cool car from Redline that is a boat also. I like that one. Or anything in between, a tricycle that's really going very fast. Or Goku on the cloud, it could be whatever. So you see. So yeah, we will get cooking, rolling up our randomly determined road and rest stop stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d6 to get mine. Cool. I got a 9, which means that I can put each point of that into my horsepower 1 for 1. So I have to have crashes, and I have to have health, and health has to be nested into crashes. But other than that, I can make it as experimental as possible, as strange and cool. So let's see. Aaron, which character sheet did you pick? I'll pick the other one.
I have not picked one yet.
You
I
feel
picked blue.
orange or red?
Let's say orange.
Cool. I'll
Thank you.
grab this one. So first we go ahead and put our 0 to 60, or 60, if you don't have enough time to say it, into that HP little scallop thing up here. And then we'll use that to then create our horsepower. So I got a 9. Sarah, what'd you get?
I got an 8.
Nice. I'm eating your dust. What did everybody else get?
I got a 6.
I got an 8 also.
Cool. Pretty balanced, right in the middle. Great. So I obviously want a cooler font. Let me just. This font is called Bangers, which Bangers only. Great. So I am then going to build my horsepower out of this. I got 9. Let's say I want 2 crashes, and I'll fill those crashes up with HP. Or health, rather.
And that's just a fun choice you make. It doesn't have any. I mean, like I made mine. I imagine mine's like my car is kind of like a short semi. So
Cool.
I kind of made my health and crash track look like a short semi. But that's just a choice I made. You don't have to do anything like that. You can just pick how you want to bracket it. Right?
Yeah. So you will be bashing and crashing on the road, and for every crash, if you have a higher set, which is your crashes and health nested to each other, that looks bigger than the enemy, you'll wipe them out. If it looks the same, we'll get into the cases when that happens and otherwise. So you're going to have more to work with than enemies, and you will have your own assets to stunts and attacks and moves to get them where you want them on the road to mess them up. So let's see. Got 1 crash like that. Great. Anybody need any help making HP?
I maybe just to check to make sure I understand.
Yeah, totally.
Like that.
Yeah, let's show the entire stream what you're up to so they can.
Yeah, and that doesn't make any sense.
That looks great. So you have 8 to mess with, and so it's 1 for 1 for health and crashes.
Okay.
So I think you need to get rid of 2 pips somewhere.
Because the crashes take up 1 of the points also.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the difference between playing Torq on a computer and in physical space. You would make a crash as a single connected bracket, but we don't have access to that that possibility. I like people doing the periods for that. It looks pretty cool.
In all honesty, I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere you wrote it down that way.
Yeah, it's has a different graphical flexibility for different areas, but this will just be a way that we can visually see what we've got left, what we're rolling with, and this is definitely the most. This is one choice that we can reallocate at any rest stop. So if you're not happy with the way it looks right now, we can fix it if you find on the road. Okay, so the other important thing to know about horsepower is that the leftmost crash will be the first one to go. So that's called your crash front. That's why there is a exclamation point and a crashing symbol next to that. That's what's going to get hit first.
What elegant information design.
Thanks. You would not believe how many BMX bike speedometers I looked at to get this set. All right. So we got that. This also determines what our road options are. So we'll start with me, 9 means I have a fortified car. This vehicle can take it and dish it back, which means that I have 2 stock moves and a choice of 1 custom move from 3 options. So my stock moves are I can heal a column 1 health, and I can inflict 1 crash damage to an adjacent tile. This will all click when we're on the road. Just got to make a choice now for what the custom ones are, which my options are slow any target, launch any target, or lock current tile. So I am going to, let's say, launch, because launching is when you pop something over from just over you and it can hit a wall or hit another car. Basically, I'm getting it in the air. Let's go ahead and do that. Sarah, let's say you got an 8, which means your vehicle is stubborn. You're not going down without a fight. Your stock moves are that you can push a target into an adjacent tile, and you can launch everything in the current tile. I'm thinking that looks like a battle bot. So that includes friends, obstacles, and everything like that. And so the choice you got to make is whether you want to heal 2 health on a row, ignore the next crash, or swap with any tile. And you can find this all in the card as well, just so you can check out those choices. So I'm not just reading it to you. And you might notice that these don't have any themes on them. That's because it's all up to you. You will make these moves work within the vibe that you feel for your car. So I immediately kind of went to a spatula style battle bot. It's just,
which is so funny because I went with like just a heavily reinforced Geo Metro. Like I want like a down that just has a really low center of gravity.
I'm gonna go. I'm kind of envisioning mine as a really strong fortified bike. I'm gonna go for bike today.
Wow.
Like a motorcycle or a pedal power?
Oh, that's something to think about.
I don't know.
Let's say it is. It has an engine, but I charge it.
Love
at
it.
rest stops, I am. So I'm self-powered. Cool. Tony and Aaron. So what are the kind of choices you made? What did you get?
Aaron, do you want to talk about yours first, or do you want me to go ahead and?
Sure. I got streamlined. I can inflict a crash to a target in an adjacent tile, push target in the same tile, or I can place obstacles. I also had rolled my registration, which we'll get to, but it definitely informed.
Okay, cool. Maybe you talk about that now while we're typing.
Sure. So my registration is lyric. So at rest stops, I'm like writing songs or poems about what's going on. So I feel like this is just like a band van.
Cool.
Like wizard and dragon painted on the side. And since I can throw the obstacles, I feel like there's just like old sound junk that I've been working on in the back. And if I need to, I can fling it out of the car to mess with other people.
Love it. I did one of the scenic route characters, right? So my I have the Cloudbuster, which I got the level at which Will rode in the front, and I'm sure was thinking of me precisely when writing it in, like, oh, this is going to Tony. I'm gonna pick this one intentionally. No, the Cloudbuster is the scenic route character that I have. The sky is my garden. Weed the clouds, seed the strata. The weather is just another thing to learn. Move like a low pressure system and hear the sky's manifold moods. Take your almanac and say into the air. Maybe it will listen. So my starting package, one of the moves I start with is weatherized. So if I get slagged, I ignore the penalties on every obstacle or mine. So I'll still be taking the extra damage for being slagged, but if I hit things, I just kind of power through them. I have the moves my default moves for being a Cloudbuster are pressure system. I can slag any tile. In heavy weather, I can duplicate any in-play Oh, did I not space this out right? I can duplicate any in-play something. Obstacle and place it in a head on
Cool.
the map.
It's a fucked up move.
And then I picked the special move Bluster, decrease the price of a single obstacle to 0, basically meaning I can run into stuff without it mattering, or I can make it so that when you hit an obstacle, it does not damage whoever hits it. The other options were smart weather, lock an obstacle in place, keeping it from moving, and Doppler affect an obstacle in different ways. I liked the vibes of all of them. My registration, which is just my license plate, is Weather Wizard.
Great.
I've got a
Very
CRT and console in the front of my vehicle. An all-in-one fax copy printer also too. Miracles under the hood, an over-the-road chassis, and livery. So the outside of my car is slightly attuned to the weather. Also, it shows what the weather is going to be like slightly in advance, and so it changes color to reflect the weather around it slightly before the weather changes. Not enough to be fun or mechanically interesting, just enough for us to narratively describe things and it be enjoyable.
I mean, we could set that up. That sounds cool. Awesome. I see you used a bunch of the random tables, which is awesome. I will go ahead and do that once I figure out my registration, which is up next. So we got another 2d6 roll to determine what we do, why we're a driver. We go from community to community. These road moves we have are things that we need to get there safely. What we do at the communities are how we help the world in our own special way. So I'm going to go ahead and get to that page in the book, and then roll 2d6 and see what I get. I got rebar, which is to build something permanent in this world of temporary promises. At rest stops, I sketch a unique bit of architecture in my notebook. So I'm a constructor, I'm helping build, and I'm like one of those inspectors on TikTok that has the knife and then they go into the door frame and they're like, oh, there's termites. So that is what I'm doing. So maybe I'll flavor my car a little bit differently from that to some construction equipment or something that can haul like that. Yeah, cool. Sarah,
or a moped with just a big cart of construction equipment.
I like that.
It's like the sidecar just full of like bags of concrete that you actually put.
It's a concrete
on.
mixer.
I love
Yes.
that. Let's say that I've got this like basically jet engine bike, and behind it is all of the equipment that I need, and the sidecar is a crane arm that's just like right next to it. So let's do that. Cool. Sarah, what'd you get?
I got the rain dog,
Nice.
which weird weather is my game, chasing storms of any stripe. At every rest stop, record a unique weather in your notebook. So I kind of love this though. Like I'm picturing like a little Geo Metro that's like kind of like built out for those like storm chasing stuff. So like I've got like reinforced in case like a high winds I won't get blown away. It has just like entirely too much stuff inside, so I can like grab and like measure different like humidities and everything like outside of it. But like it's built to be able to pass through crazy storms to get information on them.
Awesome. That sounds killer. Great. We already know what Tony and Aaron's vehicles look like. The band van, of course. Are you in the band? What's your relationship to the band of which this van is?
I think it's I am the band. I'm the only member right now. I mean, nice. I think you've all been invited and encouraged to learn instruments. Whether you do that on your own time, that's up to you. But I think I, found the last bit of airbrush paint somewhere and did my best to paint this myself. So it's bad.
It's bad.
I think it's great. Cool. So the next thing we can do is kind of go through the random tables scattered through this book and get a more a clearer picture on, like, as you saw with Tony's vehicle, the livery, what's on the dash, what's in the trunk. And I like that part a lot because it helps me flavor my moves later. So
Mhm.
let's go ahead and figure out what's on the dash and etc. Torq is basically full of like little or entire page spreads of these tables to kind of get a cool, clear, strange picture of what your driver is, with a bunch of awesome photography by Ben Garbo, who's the photographer for this book. Great. I'm going to go ahead and throw some bones to figure out what's on my dash. I have a human skull with a GPS unit inside of it on my dash. That's cool. In the back, I have, let's see, a space blanket. If I get stressed out on the road, that sounds right. That's in the with all my construction equipment. On my hood, I have got a no longer beating heart. So I've got kind of a menagerie up here. And on the chassis, let's see, it's clearly custom. So I totally get that.
Love it.
So I'm going to flavor my no longer beating heart to be like some kind of future technology engine that should be powering this bike, but I have to pedal power it everywhere. So maybe it looks kind of weirdly biological. Maybe it's just some further atom splitting energy. We'll go with that.
When you pedal, does the heart pump?
Yeah, I like that. I think that sounds right. Cool. Sarah, do you feel like rolling on any of these tables?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Oh,
so
awesome.
on the dash, I have a dehumidifier, which checks out. On the back, I have a slime vat, which bizarrely also checks out. Let's see, I've got to scroll over here to see the other options. On the hood, I have firewood, which is great. On the hood, and then the chassis I have is boxy. Can I also just say I did look up storm chaser vehicles, and there's the idea, this is what I want, like I'll put it on the board underneath my car because it's everything I want. But like imagine this, but like a Geo Metro on the inside. Like it's just absurd.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. And there are a couple others, like where's the steering wheel, and what the livery is like. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to go ahead forward and we can get into a little bit of how to play and the game, if that sounds good to everybody.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Oh, got to figure out my look and my name. That's kind of a personal. There's no table for that. Let's see.
Yeah, what's everybody's name?
God. My name that I wrote down earlier in a fit of something is Pillbuck Prestige.
I love it. And
I'm comfortably frumpled and slightly out of step is my look. I think what?
Did you say Pillbug?
Pillbuck. B-U-C-K. Pillbuck Prestige. He I think like definitely has very wispy mutton chops and a hairdo to match, like small rimmed glasses, and like a brown vest and slacks that look like they're dusty and dirty all the time, and they're not. That's just what they look like, and a pocket watch that really is a barometric reader. I do need to know at some points there we have to define our relationship with each other. Me, the weather wizard, and you, the rain dog.
Yeah. I think that this is kind of incredible that we've ended up in this relationship.
It's a cool Gandalf Sauron thing happening.
Here's my weather tank.
My name is Gandalf Sauron.
This is very good. So I have a question. The look aspect, where do I find that?
So your look is in this game, you are your car. So you kind of interpolate details from your vehicle if you would like into your look, but otherwise how you look is completely up to you.
Gotcha. I want to know more about Aaron's character though. First.
Yeah, my name is not actually Gandalf Sauron.
You told a lie on the internet?
Yeah.
Wow.
My character's name is Nantucket. You know, so I rolled for some stuff, and I have a pristine tape deck in the front and a bass guitar and an amplifier in the back, which was like purely by chance. I really do think it's just like a ratty t-shirt of 3 wolves howling at the moon, a leather jacket, some tight leather pants, and some like platform shoes ready to rock.
This is very good.
Bass guitar, crazy hair. I always have the wind thanks to you two, so it's always just like I'm ready for my music video.
This is very good. So I guess it leaves me. I'm Lydia Pockets Crayborn.
Is it Pockets?
Yeah, Pockets. I would say the nickname is Pockets, and it really comes from the fact that like it's clear that I've consumed like artifacts from like the before times, like too much, like just like Blade Runner meets like Matrix meets everything, and I just have an inordinate amount of pockets. Like there's too many. It doesn't make any sense. I have a lot of pockets.
At first, I was trying to figure out what you had eaten that got you a lot of pockets, but when you say consumed, you mean did not mean eaten. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I just was ripping out pages of like comics and eating them, and that's actually how I learn. I'm like I can't learn any other way. And then the look is like heavily like influenced by that, reading into like a lot of like sci-fi and cyberpunk themes. So like the car, while my good music buddy has like actually like put art on there, I've just taken like bright orange and bright green spray paint and done the like 90s cup design on the side of this reinforced Dio Metro. And that's I would say like hair is constantly disheveled, like no attempt is ever made, so I constantly look like Doc from Back to the Future, and it's a whole vibe. And again, generally there's just like I have too many things, just constantly juggling like too many things.
Great. And I'll finish out. I'm Kritzer. I look like Evil Knievel. Like I said, I've got this big bike. Kritzer, she's got always got the helmet on, has the branded, like totally branded bike jacket, so I could take a tumble and be fine. And yeah, I've got the sidecar with the crane arm on it that I use to do a lot of impromptu demolition, and it is some sort of weird future technology that operates this thing, but it is a pedal bike, I think we decided. So it looks weirdly sleek in some parts, like a Peloton. In other parts, it looks like heavy Caterpillar construction yellow everywhere. But cool. So we've met everybody, and then we've made characters. So next we're going to start up the adventure, unless anybody's got any questions before we start rolling.
No.
Let's hit the road.
Hit
Vroom,
it.
vroom. Also, if you were just joining us, we are giving away a copy. You can hit !vroom to get entered into a chance to win.
Yeah, come get these books.
Or go buy it, you know.
Go buy it if you don't win. If you do win and you love it, go buy it. You know. Great. So Torq is played in episodes which alternate between the road and the rest stop. So we go for high action, lots of octane on the road, and then the rest stops we have some chill out interpersonal character relationships. This is a episode, so it is pre-written, but you can play Torq kind of open campaign style with all the players generating stuff to bring at the table and building a campaign that way. So lots of different ways to play, but this will be a one shot. And like I said, this will be made available next week to everyone who wants to learn how to play. With that started, let's get ready for some boxed text. Can I get a shout out for boxed text?
Woo!
They're called the Caves of Chaos. No, there is a mountain pass called the Odessa Road, and for a 3-day period, it's open to anyone for whatever lies out west. You should know drivers that try to pass often don't come back, and it's not just the terrain that's a problem. Everything with wheels and a bad conscience are all cruising for the same window. So we are all getting funneled into the same area to make it out into the west, where we hope to apply our trade. We're kind of done with a small area here. Like I said, this is an intro episode, so we've made a fresh group of drivers as they venture out into the unknown and a new area which we could continue a campaign after and build ourselves. Every element of this game will be introduced, so we'll start with the enemies and moving around on the road first. Then we'll hit a rest stop. Then we'll go to moving around obstacles and events second as we get deeper into the mountain. And finally, after another rest stop, we will put it all together and face off against some strange freak. So every adventure starts at a hitching point. A radio signal cuts through to each of you, whether you were just blowing off your way to the next shaky prospect or looking for the next thrill, off the last gig and searching for the next one. The MC is calling all drivers, half canonical and half hardcore. Title sting, blam. There we are. So the Odessa Road is open and the hymn is coming from over the mountain. Will you answer? A list of coordinates follows, and that's where we meet all our characters at a refueling station called Hadoffs. As we meet there, I've already rolled characters, so we've just been idling in the sun waiting for a convoy to go out. Maybe some of us know each other before, and maybe some of us are rivals, or we have different relationships. So does anybody have any ideas for how they might know another character or maybe have a pre-established relationship?
I 100% think this. I would love to pitch that Pockets and Pillbuck are arguing about how much longer it's going to be before the weather changes right now. That is my pitch. So Pockets, do you have a pitch on how long you think it's going to be before the weather changes?
It's a universal rule that it is every 15 minutes. You just have to wait 15 minutes and the weather will change. This is known.
And I have reams and reams of dot matrix paper that I've printed out that I'm just like shoving in your face and trying to show you data points on how none of what you're making makes any sense. And I'm threatening to crank up my future weather projector to prove you wrong when this signal cuts in.
Yeah. I like this a lot. I like the idea that you're like hard data and I'm like, no, it's a vibe.
Awesome. And I think there's probably some bizarre weather over the mountain that you can see storms like gathering above it and strange things happening there. And that would be a huge incentive to go and study, to learn more, to help with communities.
Awesome.
Aaron, I want to be in your band. Oh, you're muted.
I just hate to talk. We can go town to town building amphitheaters.
Oh, that's awesome.
The
That's very
amphitheater,
good.
and then we play in it.
You have to, I mean, each amphitheater, as we know, is tuned to the natural landscape of where it is. So,
Yes.
I mean, you're in charge of figuring out the acoustics, the supersonics.
And that's where the weather comes in as well. We have to measure the ambient energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's perfect. Great. I mean, we're just going making our Merriweather Post pavilions everywhere. It's It's awesome.
Correct.
Wow. This reminds me of a quote that I heard a spectral musician talk about. Just the idea that music was out there and we're just accessing it. It's just a element of the universe. So I kind of like that for us. So, right, we've all pulled up. We have our ham radios set. It sounds like we've all come from a similar community, and we have been practicing and building amphitheaters everywhere. And we just have this perfect opportunity to link up. So that's great. Do we have a name for like our group? Do we get like a kind of rally call?
What about a name for the group? No, I have no idea.
The name, I feel like it's got to be like the Stratospheric Symphony is like it's like this weird combination of like weather and music.
I like Stratospheric Symphony a lot. I had a tagline that came to mind, which was play the storm.
Oh my gosh,
that's great.
That's so good.
That's
so
why
good.
I started talking, and I was like, wait, that's not a name at all. Never mind.
Great.
I could see that airbrushed onto a fan, so
I'm working on it right now.
What I love about it is like gigs are determined by weather patterns, but also the amphitheaters are like designed so like when it rains, it like channels like water like through places.
Wow.
And, like we have like flute tops like on the top of the amphitheater, so when the wind blows, it like creates certain tones to like play over. Like the amphitheater is like a part of the band, so to speak, harnessing the power of the weather. So Play the Storm like works perfectly.
Also, I'm going to complain right now. This feels very vanilla. It's like every other road rally game I've ever played.
Damn. Guess I got to make some adventures.
The scathing indictment. Those I've ever given.
This rally is heartily rating. Great. So we're going to hit the road. We have linked up, and now we're blasting off to meet this window. It sounds like weather is changing in front of us. So let's have some worsening weather going on. What sounds good? Do we want sleet, rain, something stranger like plastic dropping from the sky, or twist ties, or what's the
sheets?
You got to watch out for those
of twist ties.
Sheets of twist ties.
Twist tie tornadoes kind of a deal, like because an initial couple ties like start raining.
They call them twisters. There's a twister inbound.
Oh
my God, it was right there and I didn't see it.
Let's get one of those on the in our rear view, so we know that we got to cook. Okay, so we'll enter the road phase number 1, called Heckheads. Heckheads are problems on wheels. They're opportunists ambushing those moving from community to community. Right now, that's you. Heckheads descend off the mountain and chase all of you into the past, and me, myself. The road is a dusty blacktop with a red clay on either side. Mountains loom on the horizon. There is a twister made of twist ties in the rear view, and the desert brush looks thorny enough to pierce your hull. Here, we're going to learn how to drive, get enemies on the board, and figure out collisions. So we'll choose who's going to be the enemy director. We won't need people to do obstacles or events. It goes into something about the game. There's no game master. There's just people that interpret the rules for different elements of the game. I'm going to handle that now just for the ease of playing on stream. But in your own game of Torq, you'll be shifting and switching off based on who's got the energy or what. So the first thing we do is we're going to place our drivers onto the road. So on this road ticket, you'll see there's different tokens with different colors that should relate to your character sheet. Why don't you smack your HP onto there and a name and pick somewhere on the road? I'll just introduce the road really quick while we're looking at it. It is this 3x3 grid, which represents a pack of cars moving through space. Up ahead of the road is an area called Ahead. We're going to put future enemies up there, things that are on the horizon line. And we've got behind the road, which is called the Rally. This is where we'll heal up if stuff goes south, or that's where some people will be left in the dust because every turn the road scrolls forward. That means if you didn't spend your turn moving this last round, you're going to be pushed backwards with the flow of the road. We're all going to additionally move in our 0 to 60 order. So go ahead and put the number of your 0 to 60 on your tile. And just bear with us because we're using a digital app that some of us might not be acquainted to, and it's just funky in general. So there might be some.
Also, while you're probably pointing at the different parts of the thing that you were talking about, I was zoomed in writing my name and stuff.
No worries. I'm happy to explain it again, and it will just make sense when we start playing.
Yeah.
The most frustrating game learning advice, it will make sense in a minute.
But the truest.
The truest. Okay, let's see. My first set has 4 HP in it, so it's really chunky. And my second one has 3, so it's a little more gentle and fragile.
I like that.
Yeah, one chunk.
One chunk is a strat.
It is.
So just for more readability, how about we make this a little bit bigger? And I'll put a 9. Look at these cowards in the back row. I'm up front. This is me.
I just put us. We can put ourselves anywhere.
Anywhere you want. As we enter the first round, we will place enemies on us and obstacles when we have that. And then we'll seed some stuff over in the Ahead area. So if you're familiar with games like Into the Breach or other like micro strategy games, you kind of have this perfect knowledge of what's going to happen based on enemy tendencies and stuff. And it's our jobs as expert drivers to defensively destroy everything or get out. You know, different things have different objectives, but for this first one, it's to destroy the enemies. So we begin this zone after we've all placed our stuff with 1 heck head per driver and 2 skags in random tiles.
Excellent. The heck heads are on bikes. Is that correct?
Let's see. The heck heads are a roving gang of creeps after your vehicles and its contents. So yeah, let's get them on bikes. You've heard of kids on bikes.
These are heck heads on bikes.
These are freaks on bikes.
Heck heads.
When skags are long, low vehicles with a mean harpoon platform.
Right. And so you can see that we started with 1 heck head per driver and 2 skags on random tiles. If you're checking out the road ticket, which is basically how we read the road and how we play it. So heck heads will be able to, when they die, they'll queue up 2 skags. So we've got problems on the horizon. We're people with problems. So to get a random tile, I'm going to roll 1 dice to determine the row and the other dice to determine the column. So that's the first column and that's the last row. And then we've got the first column and the last row also. Oh my God. Damn, Nantucket.
Not looking great, buddy.
Maybe they want to join the band.
This makes sense for the van. Like, it seems like a big target and an obvious one for... Great. Okay, so we're going to want to... I'm going to quickly make a little kind of turn order here because I don't like how hard it is to see these on my screen. So the heckheads will go first, and then we have Nantucket. I know someone from there. And then is the Skags with 7. And then we have Pillbuck and Lydia. And then finally me, Kritzer. And we're just going to add the numbers here. Like I mentioned, the lower number you have, the closer you are to the front of the turn order, and the higher the number, the slower you are. Is everybody following so far?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. I love that. Looks like we'll just start off with a crash too, which is
Yeah.
yeah. So Aaron, tell me about how Nantucket got into this situation.
You know, the van is not primed for this bad weather, and so I didn't want to push it. I was hanging back, and apparently I got too far back, and I looked like a very nice target.
Cool. How are they fucking with your van right now? Do not fuck with my van.
Such as my van.
You said someone have harpoons. I feel like they're trying
yeah.
classic, like trying to get attached to the back door and pull that back door open to the van so that they can get the stuff out without even dealing with me.
That's so messed up.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I want these guys dead. Don't steal my base. What is this? American Airlines? All right. Okay. So the way we start is by going down the 0 to 60 order, and each enemy has a set thing that they do each turn. They have some light AI, and just for reference, enemies go for the slowest, weakest opponent. So they search for the nearest, slowest, and weakness. So if they're in a tile with somebody, they'll go for that. If they're a tile away from somebody who is strong and who is a few hits away from dying, they'll go for the weaker one, and they'll go for the slower one on top of that too. So that's kind of how they make choices.
Yep.
We'll talk about colliding really quick because we're about to do it. We'll just jump into this first round. So Nantucket, a heckhead, the Skags have you kind of, I want to say like they're flanking you on either side, kind of boxing you in, like everyone's nightmare with semi-trucks on the highway. It's happening to you. I'm sorry.
You're living that life.
And the heckhead is kind of getting in the perfect spot to back into you, to kind of just pull the e-brake and just fall back. So what they're going to do is they get one action per turn, and they seek and collide. So they get into the tile with the nearest driver and collide with them. This heckhead only has 2 health in its crash, while you have a huge amount of health in your crash. So here's what happens. You have more health, the enemy loses the set, and the driver loses health equal to the enemy's lost health. So you take away 2 health there, and this heckhead explodes across your hood. Yeah, so what are you doing to this? Like, what is your driving style to make this happen?
I think it's just like a solid, these guys are on bikes. I just need to not wrench one way or the other. I turn on the windshield wipers to get the heckhead off my windshield.
I love that.
Visible damage up front at this point. So
awesome. Cool. So yeah, go ahead and here's a good way to do it online. Just put 2 X's instead of the O's under your health on your tile.
Cool.
Kind of the tile is how we'll track it live, and then if permanent things happen, we can go change it on our sheets because no need to be flipping back and forth. Yeah, so there is a few other heckheads that are going to try and all smash with us. So next up, we will go to let's start with me. The same thing happens. Basically, these heckheads went in and thought they could really just overpower us, and I am going to kind of fade it a little bit, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, gonna act like I'm ramming, and then I pull back, and then the arm of the crane totally obliterates this thing. So that's another 2 dead. Great. Pillbuck, what do we got? So this is a situation where we have equal health between both. So like I said, it's your leftmost side. The same thing happens. Enemy loses a set and driver loses health equal to the enemy's lost health. So now you have an empty crash. And the same thing happens to you, Lydia. So why don't you both describe what is happening in that situation?
So that's the health, and then but the crash is still there, correct?
Crash is still there. That means that it affected your person more than it did your vehicle.
Cool.
So maybe it shook your confidence in some way, or maybe you physically bumped up against the roll cage or whatever.
Yeah, I've got like an old. It looks somewhere between an old traveling salesman like caravan and military vehicle, but it's definitely like the front kind of truckish half, and I think I was not I was looking at this changing weather up above and not paying attention at all, and so when they slammed into me is the first time I noticed anything was going wrong, and my head just hits my like shiny steel steering wheel, and there's just like this gash across the front of it, but otherwise my car is fine.
Beautiful.
I feel like with mine, the heckhead's like coming up to try and come up the side, but is still positioned behind. And so I brake check, and they kind of like clip the corner. But I remember that I have a vat of slime in the back, and now all I can think about is, oh crap, did the slime spill? I'm doing that thing where I'm like trying to look back, but I can't see because there's just too much stuff inside this little car to be able to observe. So I'm distracted. It's just, I'm really worried about that slime getting on everything, essentially.
Awesome. Cool. So as you can see, each one of these heckheads procced 2 more skags to come. So these are the forward scouts for what is seemingly a large army of freaks ahead on the head. So we'll have to play strategically to make sure we don't get effed up. So here's what happens when you have an empty crash, which is what both Lydia and Pillbuck have. So an empty crash means that there's no health in a crash, and that the next collision will wipe out that crash and the next one. So what you can do is heal back up some health there to get another effective crash, but otherwise it is puts you a little bit out in the open. Gives you an opportunity to heal, but you are exposed right now. Likewise, when you have exposed health, which might be when an enemy hits you with some kind of an ability that takes away a crash, say a harpoon rips your door off and you just are hanging out like you're rolling up to high school with a Jeep, like people in my high school did. Damn. So a rock could hit you. Come on. That's when there are no crashes in the set. Damage wipes out this health before inflicting damage as normal. Great. So next up in 0 to 60 order is Nantucket. So you have 2 actions and a turn that you can spend on moving, stunts, or an attack. So you can see in your character sheet, every driver has 3 basic attacks. You have 3 stunts, and you have a move action. Stunts are cool, complicated things that make you who you are, that each have a unique verb to them, which we can get into when you use it. Attacks do flat damage at different, so you can do 2 health damage to a target in your tile, or you can do 1 health damage to a target in any tile, a long range thing, or you can inflict 1 crash to something in your tile.
I mean, I'm so close to the rally, I gotta move, right? Because otherwise I'll be back in the rally spot.
Yeah, when you're in the rally, you can spend actions instead of on these things I described on healing yourself back up. So if you were low and needed some more, you can go hang out there, go to the chill out tent, I should say when you move, you can move to any tile you want because you are an expert driver. Enemies can't always do that.
I'm gonna pull up one so that for my second action I can use my special ability to inflict one crash to a target in an adjacent tile. So I'll pick this skag here. How do I X out the crash?
Let's see. Oh my god, why can't you select it? Oh,
I can
we
select
have.
it. I just mean, should I just backspace it out?
Yeah, you can backspace it out.
Cool. All right.
Miro, learning Miro.
And that's my turn, right?
Yeah. All right, next up we got the Skags who have one action per turn. They want to get into a tile with the nearest driver and collide, or they want to, if there's no available tiles, they'll harpoon locking an adjacent driver. So let's see, we got Pillbuck and Nantucket are both close, and looks like Nantucket is has lower health, so they're still going to chase you. So knowing that, do you want to move any further away, or do you want to stay right where you are?
They can just keep moving, right? No, I'm good. I'll attract
Okay, cool.
them. They like this van.
Great. Yeah, I just want to let you know we're learning. So if you find out something that is not really what you intended, we can jump back and fix it. It's not retconning if you are thinking in slow motion.
Words
All right.
signify.
So this skag gets in a tile with you and is going to collide with you, but you are going to obliterate it
Right.
because it's only going to do 1 health damage to you. So we'll do that. But at the same time, this skag is moving in as well, which officially means it's moving into heavy traffic. That's when a tile has multiple things in it. So it's going to collide with everyone here. So this skag moves up and takes out this skag and hits you as well.
So then I'm down. I'm out.
Well, you have... Okay, so now something weird will happen. You have no health, but you've got crashes, so you begin to coast. You already moved this turn, so you're going to stay here. We can go heal you back up, but this skag is effed up. It's out of here, and this skag is down. So we are in a pretty precarious situation here with Nantucket. Let's see if we can't get Nantucket out of there. All right. Next up is Pillbuck.
Yeah. So this guy's got one. I think we're gonna do you have to be in the same square to attack? What are my attack options?
So you've got 3 attack options. You can do 1 long range attack, so from anywhere, or you can be in the same tile and inflict 1 crash or 2 health.
Long range that skag.
Yeah, I'm gonna long range. So I've got like, I think what it looks like is like I'm actually gonna move first. Well, no, I'm gonna on my. Does it matter? Do I have to move, shoot, move, or can I only?
You can do as any action that you want.
So if I go back to rally, I can still do ranged action on my turn, right?
Oh, in rally you can't do anything. So
cool. I'm gonna. So I think what we see is like, I turn around. We've got the harpoon guy like on the back platform as this thing is kind of like puttering, and I just like open my door and knock this guy as I then drive back to rally for my second move.
Why are you headed to rally?
Do what?
Why are you headed to rally?
Because I want to move to rally.
All right.
Cool. All right. Next up we have got, so let me delete a... Was that a crash damage or health damage?
That was a crash damage.
Great. The car doesn't work anymore. You hurt their car so bad, it will now just flow backwards. Cool. Lydia, what's it going to be?
I feel like Lydia like seeing public doing this and like all the skags like coming at us, I think I want to try and like heal up.
Great.
So do I need to move to the rally to do that, or?
Yeah, so you can go to rally and then spend an action, and then you'd be back at full health.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I can be
Cool.
a better assistant in the long run.
For my turn, I am going to heal up my friend Nantucket with
Thank
1
you.
health. So, yep, I heal 1 column, 1 health. And the way I do that is by tossing you an energy drink.
Oh yeah.
What's your brand?
Grip it and rip it. Do they have brands in the post-apocalypse?
They probably have some ancient sodas that made
I mean,
it.
it's got to be like Purple Thunder Mountain Dew, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely it does.
All right, and then for my second action, I'm going to launch any target. So that means I'm going to take this skag and throw it into a head to kind of fuck up these jerks up here. So launching is I move a target to another non-adjacent tile. So I'm going to toss it up here. And then I'm going to make this crash with the other skags. So, right, here's what's happening. Tossing an energy drink, getting my crane arm, launching this thing forward, and trying to take out a flank of these skags. So this one goes away, and these two now have 1 health.
So we could have interacted with the skags in that space.
Only by moving things up there.
Okay.
Some abilities let you do that, but this is kind of, these are on the preview.
That's what I was thinking. I was just curious.
And these will usually be assigned randomly, but because there's so much, there's just going to be like that. How are we going to get out of this one, folks? Great. So all the heck heads are dead. So you can see that in Torq, it's a swingy thing. So we can start on the offensive and then need to rally and get it done. But we can move more than they do, and we've got weirder tools in our weird belts. So we'll start it back up with our friend Nantucket. Round 2.
I mean, I gotta. Oh, do the.
The road flows.
Yeah, we all.
So those in rally stay in rally. So that very last black area, Lydia, go ahead and pop your. Yeah, that's great, Sarah. And then I didn't move, so I'm moving back, so I'm safe. Nantucket, you did move. You stay there, and you got a little bit of an energy drink buzz going on, and these skags get pulled down into here. And I believe that counts as their move for this round as they're introduced onto the thing. Let me just double check that. Yeah. Great. So Nantucket, what you going to do?
I'm going to launch 2 obstacles ahead.
Cool.
Do we have out obstacles?
Oh, we don't have any obstacles out, but you would normally have that. So
here, I'll make some little obstacles.
Great.
And they are 1 or 1.
Yep, that means it costs 1 action to pay the obstacles price, or you take 1 crash instead of paying that price. So some obstacles take health, some take crashes. If you ran into an obstacle that was listening to some terrible music, that would kind of be a physical health. And if the obstacle was driving through a bunch of Monster Energy drink, just as an example, that would be kind of corroding you. That would be a crash.
Amazing.
So here's a couple obstacles. It's just junk from my trunk, and they're just in that spot ahead. And then I will drop back to rally.
Okay. I'm dead meat, everybody. So those obstacles are going to absolutely fuck up these two skags.
Right.
So when an obstacle moves into an opponent's tile, they have to pay the price or take the penalty. Enemies automatically take the penalty. So they are both losing health here. So that means they're both one away from being dead. What kind of shit is coming? Oh, no, there are two obstacles. So they are both just husks of...
So they both
Nice.
pay for both.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that they're dead. Great job. That
Aaron's
was
to
cool.
min maxer.
Look at that.
I almost died.
Spoken like a true min maxer.
Yeah.
So,
I guess.
what kind of stuff did you throw up? Tell me how you.
It's just like
these-
extra electronics. My empty airbrush cans from painting the side of my van.
Very good.
Purple Thunder Mountain Dew cans.
Just garbage bags.
It's literal garbage. Yeah.
Beautiful. So those two are no longer problems. Just to signify that they are going to kind of just tumble backwards like you are a Smash character falling off stage. Let's just turn them upside down.
Heck yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. The Skags are coming for me next.
Good luck and
So-
Godspeed.
The closest Skags will come to me. But Skags have an interesting thing. Get into a tile with the nearest driver and collide. And if there's no available tiles, lock the adjacent driver. So this first Skag is going to come over and collide with me. And the others are all going to hold me in place to make sure I'm not hurting them. And they're really messing me up. So we have the same number of health in our crash here, so I'm going to lose that one, and this Skag is going to lose this whole set as well, or just the 2 health. And let's just move one of these Skags here, and it's going to kind of... Can I connect this? Oh, that's so cool. It's going to harpoon me.
Line.
Wow, that's fancy. Can I insert a shape? Yeah. Oh, this is so cool.
You can also write the text directly along the line if you want to.
Oh, that's even cooler. I'm going to do that. While I do that, Pillbuck, tell me what you're doing this round.
So I'm going to spend 1 action to heal, so that I get 2 points back, right?
Yeah, you get a whole set back.
Okay,
So
whole set
whatever
back.
your last set was,
Cool.
you get it fully.
And then I still have another action, correct?
Yeah.
So I want to, I believe what I want to do is use my special move. What am I looking at? I want to use pressure system. I would like to slag this tile right here.
Okay, great.
I also, you know what I'm going to do? I don't know if this cost. I have another special move. I don't know if it cost a move or not, but it's because I have this driver's license for Torq.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Okay.
I have to spin an action to do that?
That's free. That's a free action.
It's a free action. It's a
Amazing.
special move is called vroom. Once per road phase, present this card and get everyone playing to make an impression of their car. And so my car, as it launches out a low pressure system, makes a whoomp noise. We just go around and everybody wants to tell me the noise of their car.
Mine again, because as I like get healed up, there's the vat of slime in the back that just like sloshes around. And it's just kind of like a high pressure, like it's like I'm like not really driving it well. So it's that.
My vehicle, being a far future piece of technology, and this is the kind of sound it makes as it's heating up. The Fast and Furious 2 Tokyo Drift.
Yes.
Piano.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'm just trying to keep it straight while I heal, so I'm just going like on the, what are those bumpy things called that make your whole car shake?
Road bumps.
All right.
Don't sleep. things.
Rumble strips. Rumble strips.
Rumble
Rumble
strips. Thank you.
That should be the name of our group, is Rumble Strip.
That's also very good.
Okay.
Worth every penny.
So let's go ahead and pop a slag on this one. Slag means that they take double damage from all sources. So these are 2 slag skags.
Slag skag.
Slag
Very
skag.
good.
Lydia, what are you doing?
So I can see that they're descending upon my good bud, and I can't have that. So I would like to move up, and try to take out this skag that's got you currently locked.
Okay, great. How do you want to do it? Do you want to just crash into them, or do you want to use a move?
I would like to. Yeah, I think I just want to crash into them.
Great. So this skag will lose its whole first set, and then you will just lose 2 health. Nicely done. How does that look? You can see the harpoon line probably like glinting in the dusty sun lines.
Yeah,
There's
like
some
as
comedy going on.
as I kind of ascertain that the slime bat is secured, I look up and see like a single beam of sunlight that cuts through the clouds and highlights the harpoon line. I slam on the gas and just bolt forward in like an attempt at the reinforced metal plates on the front of my Geo, aiming for the line, and as it hits, it just pulls the skag directly into the side of the car.
Cool. That's great. Nicely done. So for my move, we know I'm locked down, and what's not locked down is the big construction arm in my sidecar. So it's going to pick up the skag that has me locked, and it's going to throw it with the centripetal force of the line into this group of skags here, right in front. Because what I want to do is kill them all, like the dead Kennedy said. And it happens because these slags are skagged because of Tony's blast. Slags are skagged. Hell, I need help.
The skags are slagged.
Yeah. They are all tanked. They're done. They take extra crash damage, and they have no crashes left. So this skag is totally done. The one that has me locked, and so unhand me, sir, please. How do I do that?
Delete.
Like that. That's great. And these skags just have a single crash, so they are just totally into smithereens. The cloud of Tony, what color is this energy that's here right now?
That's a good question. What color is the sky right now?
It's microplastic color.
Yeah. Yeah. So there, it's got kind of a like the sky around us is like a dark rainbow hue as different small twisters rip around us. This is like a soft white glow that kind of just foams, and everything in that zone, like all the twist ties drop like harmlessly to the ground when it happens, as these things are kind of iridescently glowing in that white space.
That's beautiful. Yeah, basically there's just a curtain of this energy, this cloud color that Tony just described on the whole first row now. So it looks like we are, we have no visibility, but we know there's miles of road ahead, like Robert Frost said. And so the next thing I'm going to do, because I have one more move because I got locked and I just did my thing, I'm going to inflict 1 crash damage to an adjacent tile. So actually I'm going to heal 1 column, 1 health. So I'm going to give me and Lydia both 1 health back.
Does the skag benefit from that, or is it only friendly units?
Let's see what it says. I don't think it's heal 1 column, 1 health. So the skag's going to get it too. I help everyone. Okay. Let's
Come on,
If you don't
Skag,
like it,
let's be friends.
that's actually Praxis. Is me healing a Skag. So, um, great. So that's the end of my turn. And next up, we have road flow, which means we start with drivers first. So drivers move back 1 if they didn't move. People in rally state. Lydia, you moved this turn, so you're set. These 2 Skags move forward because they're flowing with the road. Right here, and so the first one is going to collide because we're hitting. And so you lose 2 health, and the Skag loses its whole first thing. And this Skag is in heavy traffic, so what happens there is collides with everybody, but takes damage from only one source of your choice. So do you want this Skag, like, you're able to dictate this basically like defensively driving? Are you trying to hit the Skag yourself, or are you trying to make it interact with the other Skag?
I think I would try to get it to interact with the other Skag.
Great. So this Skag's only going to lose 1, and this Skag is 0'd. So you can see from that round, we turned a lot of mean assholes into dead assholes. So,
All right.
So these obstacles are going to go down 2. And I love the visual that we have here, that this cloud of microplastic and beautiful glinting in the
Low pressure
particle.
energy. Yeah.
Low pressure energy. Yeah, there's a lot of particle effects right now in this game. There's ray tracing, right? So they are coming forward in this last wave, and we only have 2 Skags left in the building with Nantucket starting back out.
I mean, I got to heal. I heal 1 set, which is everything.
Everything. It's your advantage.
And so if I move into this middle section, do I hit the crash Skags that are just coasting as well?
They will just turn into smithereens, not affecting you.
Okay. My second is just to move here and crash into everyone.
Great. I can almost imagine your driver looking, just white knuckling the wheel there. So you only take 1 health damage. And
Not
the
2?
Skag is
Oh,
on.
great.
Yeah, only 1, because that Skag only had 1 health on its last thing. So your car could handle it.
And those are my 2 moves. Yeah, I just finished chugging that energy drink you gave me, and then just floor it.
Beautiful. These Skags want to seek and collide, so they are going to do that. This Skag is going to just eliminate itself up against your windshield. So it's just, you're just continuing ramming and white knuckling it. This feller is gone. And Lydia, this Skag is going to crash into you. Can you describe to me how you kind of fend that off while taking 1 health damage?
Yeah, I think I had kind of come up. I had drove, like, I could see that it was trying to hit me, so I ducked back and it slammed into the other one. But it was a little, I didn't account for it being as adept of a driver as it was. So as it hit the one and drift around to hit the other side, I wasn't able to move in time. So it clipped one of my fenders and like pulled up one of the reinforced metal plates on the side of the car.
Yeah.
So it got caught on it and it hurt it, but it's also kind of ripping out my car.
That's gonna buff out.
It'll be fine. I will just hit something else and it'll just push it back into place.
Cool. Pillbuck, it's all you.
These cars are just floating here, right? There's
it's a terrible tumbleweed situation.
Yeah,
they're gonna float back.
Like the cars are intact, but we can just see the dead bodies inside, right?
Or the drivers bailed out, like they are
Um,
now just looking at in the distance, in your rear view, like at their vehicles and everything.
Yeah. I don't have any way to heal anyone, and those things. This one skag is still left, right?
Yeah, this is the only skag left in the room.
I think I'm gonna accelerate up. And when we get to here, like I like you see the door kick out this time, kind of similar like it did last time, but this time there's like a cutting gush of wind that comes out.
Amazing.
That just slams into that car and flips it over. So we're just gonna do 1 crash damage to that skag.
Great. And just like that, we have completed this road phase. We hit our objective, and I think we got some milestones. Did anyone not get hit?
So I have a question. Did you randomly roll the milestones for this to set it up?
I think I rolled these maybe months ago. So
Okay, that's
at
fine.
this point,
But they
I
were a
don't think
random
so.
roll. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Because I think we all immediately started by getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, instantly.
So we all got hit. I launched one driver, so we get 1 milestone. And great. Milestones are what will be kind of the PvP style play when there are milestones that have you do things that aren't expressly in the interest of purely winning. And you can use milestones to make new relationships, get weird stuff, etc. But we are moving off of the road into our first rest stop, base camp. I would like everybody maybe just to give a sentence or so description of kind of leaving the scene and how you kind of mentally, maybe we're on like CV radio or something like that. Like, how are we getting centered after the situation?
Oh, that's a great question. Aaron, what is there a song we're all tuned
Oh yeah, I
into?
got a tape deck. I put an old tape into like a Hank Williams tape into the tape deck and just play it over our shared radio.
Very good.
And you know how that really chills us out. That's perfect.
Yes.
Just some
what
sad country music.
That's what the doctor ordered.
That country music. Very good.
So as we do that, we hit our first road where we learned how to do all of that stuff. We're going to hit up the rest stop, and the rest stop has 4 components. We roll up, we park, we do some R&R, and then we roll out. So I'm going to describe this one, and we're going to each take a turn kind of describing what we see as we get closer and everything like that. So base camp sits in the shadow of the mountain built into a rocky outcropping. The first thing we notice is how small it looks in comparison, and the last thing we realize is that they've had telescopes on us for the last many miles. This place has struck a bargain between their obligation to guard this road and the slow, strange aging of everyone who lives there. There's dissent in the community, leading to the pirate signal that we heard drawing us here. So what we have to do is place 2 dice in the center, representing the meeting garden and the road minder. We'll have to convince them to let us through, and then we'll do this thing where we roll remaining dice as normal and kind of set them up as little points of interest and stuff like that. So let's go ahead, and could everyone roll me in the physical space in front of you if you've got it? Like, make a mental square and roll those 2 dice, and then place those dice in this space. Do you see what I'm saying? You kind of
roll
track.
our dice.
Yeah.
So I got a 6 and a 2.
Cool, and we can pop them here. So do they roll near each other? Were they far away? Where do you want to put them in this rest stop? It represents also like a physical area.
I think like given that it's smaller than we thought, I think it's because like when we saw it, we saw like a lot of like lights, so we thought it was bigger, but they're really just high intensity bulbs, and they are small and like apart, you know what I mean? So like the illusion of a like large glow made us think that it was going to be larger than it is. They just have really bright lights.
Great, and I'm gonna roll mine really far apart. So I'm gonna grab one right here and put it really far away, and then I want to make one that's closer to the center. What's everybody else got?
I rolled double fours. I am gonna put one right here next to the two folks, and put the other one. I don't know. We'll put the other one right here because it'll be weird.
That's awesome. So if we were playing this on a physical table, we'd start stacking dice and making structures out of them to kind of build a physical space.
Oh, well, I'm gonna stack a four on each
Cool.
one of these guys. Both the road minder and the meeting garden have a 4.
So that makes this a bustling center area, and so we'll use that 4. Do you want this to be a people, events, or places?
I think people, events, or places. I think I want it to be events.
Cool. We have, if you want to use, so the book has ways to read these dice and whatever. If you don't feel creative, for example, or if you want to see the interesting thing the books have to say, or if you've got a great idea, we can go with that. So what do you want to go for, Tony?
Since it's my first time playing, I'm trying to think about what it might mean. I think in my mind, I like this as almost kind of like a split resource or something that's being fought over.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Like something that some people want in the meeting garden, but the road minder has some of also too.
Cool. So it's a garden. So what if it's like some sort of food or a place to physically be or something like that?
I like that. Let's say I like food. Let's go with food.
So we'll kind of make this a zone, not to cover it up. Great. So maybe this is the one time a year that everyone is bringing stuff from the valley, all the food grown in the valley. And so this is the hearth. There's a big Thanksgiving horn. What are those called?
Cornucopia?
Cornucopia.
It's a cornucopia.
Amazing.
I mean, Thanksgiving horn works also too. Everybody knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah, I did, which is kind of a weird thing.
Did I spell that right? Who cares? So we'll make that a thing. Tell me about these. We got some isolated dice. Let's talk about these 2 6s up here.
Mm-hmm.
Who rolled those?
I did one.
We got 1 6 and 1 6. So would you like to write the event or whatever this point of interest is yourself, or do you want to use from the book?
I want to use from the book.
Cool. Do you want this to be a people, places, or events?
I want mine to be a person.
Okay, it's going to be a runaway and hiding. So that's
Okay.
who's there. And Aaron, what are you thinking for the other 6? You're muted again. Sorry. I'm apologizing. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to not make noise while I'm looking through the book. I think it's a place. Like if we came in from the south, this is like a big northern, I don't know, landmark.
Is it
Okay, great.
Is it like the last joint in town before you're back out on the road?
Yeah, I don't know. What's the book say? Where is this in the book?
This would be on page 91. So as a 6, as a place, that would be ruins.
Yes, beautiful. It's
Cool.
like a tall tower, similar to some of the lookouts they have here, but it has fallen into ruin.
Awesome. So let's make this a... Awesome. And we've got a 2 over here. Who's that? Cool.
That's me again. So it's a person, event, or
Place.
place. Let's do an event for this one. in the butt.
Great. So this is cool. This is a half-buried discovery. So this is something waiting for you to figure out. Great. Let's see. I got this 6 over here, but I want to be a little spicy.
Ooh.
Cool. So, oh, that's an awesome one. What'd you get there, Aaron?
I got a 1, and it is 2 enemies settling a score.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
I
Great.
wanted to get spicy too, so
I'm going to schmack these 2 together to make a 2 dice event. So, by the way, 1 dice is isolated in a way. 2 dice is people live here or at least frequent these places, and 3 dice are a bustling center. So we've got 4 dice. We are overclocking the dice here. It's awesome. So we get to make something absolutely huge that's dominating this community. But I'm going to go ahead and what's the coolest thing here? 2 dice. I'm going to do a muralist hard at work.
I like that.
So these are kind of scene starter idea seeds for what our rest stop stuff is going to be like. So we can either get started with our rest stop stuff, or we can take a quick break before this. If anybody, because we've been going for over an hour.
A quick break would be awesome.
I would love a quick break.
Let's do a quick break. We are in the middle of playing Torq, half hardcore, the intro adventure that kind of walks you through all the different things you need to know about it. We just finished setting up our first rest stop called Base Camp. Some weirdos have been watching us as we came this way, and we just beat some heckheads and stuff up. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes, and you can see what happens as we explore the base camp.
Good go.
Will,
Vroom,
did your
everybody,
hair-
and we are back playing Torq. What was that? What you was gonna say?
Will's hair switched sides, and I feel like they said earlier that that means it's the evil.
Yeah, there's a
the evil
doppelganger now. Yeah,
Uh-oh.
this is Wilhelm
It's
now
time-
speaking.
time for crazy Wilhelm to come out.
Oh no.
This is a lot more cloud strife than I'm normally.
Right.
Oh, I'm into it though. I'm
Yeah.
into it. Heck yeah.
Anyway,
Excellent.
We're back, everybody.
We're back. I was not ready for that at all. We're playing Torq. We're at base camp, our first rest stop. Will, what are we doing?
great. So we are pulling up. So in a rest stop, like I said, we've got 4 things we got to do. We got to roll up, park, R&R, and roll out. At rest stops, this is what we do. This is our jobs. We ply our trade at these places. Whether we are a rain dog or we build amphitheaters as a team, a team amphitheater creation squad. I'm just flipping over to these rest stop rules so I can read them for everybody. And like I mentioned earlier, there is a card with all the rules on it and everything like that. So if you want to follow along at home, feel free. And this game is available on my itch page and at goodluckpress.co. So without further ado, the rest stop. At the end of every road is a rest stop, a place to rest and refuel, communities to explore, the low and slow moments away from the fury of the road. At the rest stop, players inhabit their driver in a communal space where the cars have stopped. Players may also choose to embody the residents of this community or more abstract concepts like the weather, the enemies waiting on the road, or holidays and community events on the rest stop. Here at Base Camp, we've made a really interesting situation because we roll down dice and kind of read them and figure out what's going on. And we've created a bustling center that we're calling the cornucopia, where there is a road minder, a meeting garden, food for the people, and food for travelers, kind of embodying a dichotomy between these two things. I sound like an English paper right now. By default, this area is safe from danger. Drivers fix their vehicles, speak to locals, and interact with each other. The rest stop is populated with options available to players. This is like an open world. There are points of interest, people to talk to, locations to explore, and activities to complete. So this is the rest and relaxation part, or rest and refuel, as I call it in the game. You can investigate strands, which are these different things that we have here. Think about it like in an open world video game. This is an exclamation point or question mark on your HUD. So go over here, create a scene, and then we embody it. And then we can choose whether to see if the strand keeps on going. Maybe it leads to a quest to go do that takes us out on the road in a different direction. So, for example, maybe this half-buried discovery is the first key to a long series of clues to something strange about the oldest world, or the runaway in hiding needs to get even further away from this rest stop, and things can explode out and you can go on these extended campaign visits to different places. But for the episode 1 half hardcore, we want to convince the road minder to open up these doors, like Eric Andre just at the White House shaking on the fence. So we each have activities that we do at a rest stop. The rest stop is complete when we have visited each one of these things, and then, or each one of us has done our activity, or both. So if we want a quick one, we're going to each do our activity and then roll on. Or if we want to explore the space, we can spend time with it. Because Tony's character is a scenic route, there's a couple more things to do, including checklist scenes, which are some pre-built scenes from the life of this character that you get to explore. So if Tony wants to set one of those scenes in here, totally an option. And that's connected with some other cool stuff. But for hard chargers, we just have an activity. We can learn more about our characters, of course, but we're here for a weird time, not a long time.
I also just want to say that this spread for rest stops is one of, I think, my favorite out of the book full
thank
of
you so
awesome
much.
spreads. Like,
the art is by Gabriel Reese, who is on Instagram at Gabriel Reese, I believe, who is a Brazilian comics artist who's awesome. And the stuff on the right is a chair I saw, and I turned it into shapes. So
it's good shit. Good shit.
Great. So this is freeform. We can embody whatever characters we want. And if we want to get started, I can hit it. Or if somebody has a cool idea, we can go ahead with that.
As a lyric, I'm supposed to like write a stanza, and we were talking about country music. I feel like these two people settling a score really speaks to this idea of music as my character understands it. I don't know if they want to stop it, but they want to know more. And I think that's kind of in a gross way, like, you know, attracted to the drama. Mm-hmm. Does anyone know like what these enemies, what the score is, or who they are? Or
I can be one of them for sure.
Will Jobst, fine enemy.
One enemy number one. Okay, so this is a place we have to consider. This place is bargain with the world. This is a weird apocalypse, so things aren't just like ruined buildings. Everything is kind of warped and turned in this weird way. So every community to exist has made a bargain with the area that they're with. So for this community, it's a bargain between their obligation to guard the road and how they age very slowly. So I'm thinking these two enemies are probably ancient friends or foes, and maybe something has changed recently in their relationship or something like that. So anybody got any cool ideas for that?
Classic lovers to friends to foes to lovers to friends to foes.
Can it be they're I feel like they to get to the foes or whatever, they were lovers and now they're foes, and the fight was one of them like lost track of the cat that they co-owned, and that's like created this resentment, you know what I mean? Like there's this like I didn't leave the window open. I swear I didn't leave the window open, but it was open when I got home and the cat was gone, and it's just kind of like escalated from there. But they lost Ricky Tikki Tavi the cat, and that's like the source of the issue.
Can the cats age at normal speed so that their relationship has lasted like 5 different cats?
Yeah. I like this.
That's heartbreaking.
Trying to get that country music vibe.
Wow.
I need this stanza for my lyrics.
One of them doesn't realize that the window always gets left open when the cat gets especially old, and the other one just hasn't had the heart to
Oh my God.
And like it's like the argument like the spiraling, and it's like because like it starts with the cat, but then every little minor discretion like just kind of like layers on top of it. So it's like, I let the cat like out the window, you took the last beer, you like it's just like these like long list of issues that are kind of like snidely remarked to each other. So you get the like she left me, she took my truck, ran over my dog on the way out. It's like kind of one of those.
This is beautiful. I think that we can kind of consider this addressed and maybe continue on where this cat is, because I'm looking around the rest stop and seeing that the runaway and hiding might have something to do with this, something like that. So yeah, what do people think?
I love it.
I
Yeah,
agree with
I'm just
that.
like taking notes, the arguments. I love the idea that like these people see so far away with these telescopes, but they have so many problems here at home. They should be keeping their eyes here instead. So
If only they had someone
to look inside them.
I kind of want to follow the POV of this cat going through this place. So
yes.
I think I'm going to go to the tall ruined tower. My character is going to be, it's got all the like total stations and levelers and everything like that, figuring out where the amphitheater is going to go, kind of measuring and stuff, while a cat is working through all their favorite climby spots. And Ricky, right, the cat's name is Ricky, is just kind of carefully observing me, or doesn't care. Found the perfect sunbeam spot on the top of this ruined tower because the weather broke like halfway up the mountain. So that'll be mine for the tall ruined tower. And I have to sketch something for my activity because I'm the rebar. I'm kind of like interested in the construction of places, and my job, in addition to helping build stuff, is to just catalog all this cool architecture. So I'm going to do a plein air painting with the cat and the ruined tower.
Beautiful.
I think every time I pull up, and I'm gonna pull up near the cornucopia where this like I think harvest is getting brought in. There's a lot of people. I think my whole stick is like the back of my. I said like it's army truck-esque, but what I really just want is the back to be canvas covered. And I think my vehicle reacts to the weather like slightly ahead of time, but I can also crank that ability up and show what the weather is going to be like at a place like for the foreseeable future. But the further out it gets, the less predictable it is, and it always ends up with like horrible stuff like descending out of the skies. Like it's always the most bizarre. Like you get a month out and it's just like this is based on weird causality and probability and no longer associated with any form of reality. And it's usually pretty terrifying by the time you get further than a month out. And so I'm just going to start that show of like, what's the weather like for the next month? I think it takes a little time, but the whole, like the kind of hope is to be like, here's what the weather is going to be like for the next 3 weeks. We should probably turn this off now, but nobody ever wants me to turn it off after 3 weeks.
Can we tie that into the muralist? Like this person's working outdoors all the time. The cat runs down and steps through some like spilled paint, and we see the weather truck parked next to this muralist working. And maybe the muralist is like trying to keep track so that they know when to come out and work and when to put tarps over this work in progress or something.
I think
go ahead.
Also drawing inspiration from the weather show, because like as it goes on and like gets weirder, like the muralist is almost like sees that like kind of like taking notes to when to protect their work, but is struck with inspiration as they see like just absurd things falling from the sky, and actually starts going over and like actively sketching out what they're seeing in this weather report.
Frogs falling from the sky. I just watched Magnolia for the first time recently.
That's really beautiful. Like you see the artist painting and repainting a painting that exists in time at this point, with the layers representing different situations. And that is really great. I think that ties in a little bit to the Roadminder might want to let for this is an invaluable service for the community, and being out west means you're getting more information about the weather. I think that this person would take notice and advocate for you to cross through.
Or at least stop showing everybody really weird, disturbing images. One of the two.
You're scaring the kids.
Sarah, do you feel like you got to zero in on anything?
I feel like because mine is to record unique weather, so I feel like as we pulled in and there's into town that half-buried discovery, I feel like the fact that we saw like a twist tie tornado like so near here, like I've determined that maybe there's like some kind of beacon or object that's like kind of manipulating the weather. Particularly, people are aging really slowly here, so there's just like a lot of weird happening. So I feel like I would be drawn to that half-buried discovery, secretly wanting to steal parts of it to add back onto the geo, as I got a little torn up as well. But moving over to it and kind of kicking around to excavate it. And I feel like what that looks like is the cat like ran through the paint, the muralist kind of like yelled at it. So it darted over and is like kind of tucked down in this half-buried discovery where Pockets is just kind of looking in on it and finds there's like a glowing like light, so to speak, that's just like set up underneath it. And I accidentally break it or something, and by doing so the mural that's like running behind like for a split second like sets in a way where it's like, no, this is going to be the weather on this day, and it's raining cats and dogs.
All those cats that have jumped out the window across these 200 years.
Yep, it's literally this town has a switch that makes it rain cats and dogs.
Cool. So I think I can tie the rest of it together. That the deal that we will strike in the meeting garden with the Roadminder is to help on the down low, help this runaway get away from this community for some reason. That there's some information that they have a safer place for them to be, maybe the next rest stop, that here it's just not a good fit, or that they want to get out and try something new, trying being a driver, things like that. But you got any ideas of how we can kind of score this dichotomy with the travelers and the people and the letting the gates open with this?
She's young, but she's aging normal, and she's in her rock and roll phase. She's tired of all these old people.
Just looking for a band to join.
Exactly. Yeah, she has like a pair of drumsticks, but no drums.
And also highly allergic to cats. Just like super duper allergic.
Are you all ready for a heavy metal Rumspringa right now?
Let's go. I thought you'd never ask.
Is there? I've never watched a Rumspringa documentary and had it not include heavy metal.
Cool. Let's give this runaway a name and then pop them with I like the idea of just hanging out in the back of Aaron's van.
Yeah, love it. I'm going to a random name generator. Is Jody Garza? Is that heavy metal enough?
That's
I love
great.
it because she can be Jody the roadie.
It's so good. It's so good.
That's beautiful. Cool. So the question we ask at the end of the rest stop is, did we address everything that we want to address here? Did we do did everybody get a chance to do an activity? And is there anything we should continue on? It sounds like we all did our activity. And additionally, we have one thread we're continuing through our story, which is Jody the roadie is hopping in the van. It's like in Smash when a new character joins. Jody hops in the van. Is there any other threads that people would like to take with them?
I feel like because we've been following the the cat that's been kind of like, or cats maybe, that have been kind of going under. One of them absolutely sneaks into Pillbuck's car. Like as it's open.
The back caravan, just like as we
Yeah.
pull out, we see a cat curled up around like my Bizarro Doppler machine.
Mm-hmm. So the weather wizard now has a familiar.
Oh yeah, good shit.
Great. Are we all cool with this rest stop? Do we want to stay here or do we want to move on?
Ready to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so we all get back to full health as we enter the next zone. And just give me one moment while I get that. So you can see in Miro, there are
designed Miro board. You just pulled that right out.
Yeah, it's surprisingly easy to do. This will be available for anybody that wants to play it. You can just pop over this road ticket. These will come in a physical edition too. You can get a printout, and you just pop these things on, and they tell you how to use them and everything like that. So we're gonna keep our rest stop here. We have got everyone back at full health. I think it might be interesting, like those that have someone riding with them. Why don't you just grab an extra pip for health, just to represent that this person is with you.
Sweet.
Because HP is such a concept that can be applied to any narrative idea. You could reallocate your HP to show this. Maybe you want lots more crashes and a lot less nested health. So does anybody want to reallocate their stuff before we get started? Would you find that they were losing health at a rate that they didn't like or anything like that?
I really enjoyed just being the chunky one.
It was really cool to see that.
Yeah.
But I'm also happy to switch if someone else wants to try that.
Nah.
No, I'm set.
Interesting. Great. I mean, it's just cool. I like this game, so it's cool to see people play it. So welcome to Road Phase 2 Reverberator Mountain Pass. And away they climb, vehicles sucking on thin air, but there's more to be worried about than the fall. It's the way the mountain feels. Thin roads, hairpin turns, and sheer edges. The mountain's memory will be the last test. Here we'll learn about how to place and manipulate obstacles, including an event and some milestones. So our objective here is that every player must visit a mountain memory tile. The obstacles we have are a hairpin descent. So on the first round, we'll add a row of obstacles to the front row, and they'll be replenished every time they're off the grid to kind of represent this shifting mountain hairpin shit. And then we have a squeeze, which will add a rock wall randomly alt right and left every round. The mountain memory is a kind of interesting abstract spiritual moment that you'll have driving for your life in this tunnel where you'll make your name known, and you'll have options to pay extra things for an event, which is just like a thing on the road that you get to visit and have a story moment with. And you can get extra stuff by paying extra health or crashes or things like that. So let's go ahead and get it started. I will say that there's a couple milestones, and this is not them. This is the same as last time. So I only have 2 milestones.
Don't get hit. Great. This time it's going to be super easy.
So yeah, don't get hit is one. And then we have lie to the mountain as the other one. So would anybody like to make another milestone or roll one up from the book just so we have 3?
Do you happen to remember what page they're on?
I can just flip to it. That'll be on...
I will roll one.
51.
51.
65?
Yeah, 65.
Oh yeah, that's where they started. The section started.
Launch a driver out of harm? I feel like we have at least one launcher, right?
Yeah. So milestones are like funky achievements that we can buy cool stuff with for upgrades. Upgrades can include like giving Judy her own car, and we can just make her another player of the game. By the way, Torq's really flexible. If you wanted to retire your driver forever and just be Judy, you could do that. You could do anything you want. Great. So we'll start this out by placing our vehicles first. So we operate in 0 to 60 order, but there is no skags here to get in our way. So let me get those out of here. You bet I got a new background for this one. Oh, my mirror froze. Okay, hold on.
I also like that while you move your cursor around, instead of your name, it just says "Good luck."
Oops. Great. Is this okay contrast for people? Can you see what's going on with this stuff?
It's a narrow
great.
mountain pass.
Lovely. All right, we will start adding a row of obstacles to the front row. So we've got our hairpin turns. Oh, what'd you say?
I started in the front row. I feel like Nancy feels bad about being in the back last time, and also wants to show Jody, like, here's how we do it. We're all cool, good drivers.
Cool and good.
And we add a rock wall here. Sorry, Pillbuck. All right, so the way we tussle with obstacles is that we have to pay the price or take the penalty. Price is an action, so we have 2 actions per turn. So if you're in a tile with an obstacle, you got to pay the price or you get smashed up against that obstacle. Same, you don't have to pay if you move, but if you stay in, basically if you interact in a tile with an obstacle, you got to pay. So so we got to get our milestones too. So on the second round and every other round after that, we add a mountain memory tile to a random tile with an obstacle in it. So let's go ahead and do this first round. When you take your turn, go ahead and describe like some close calls you had in this mountain up until this moment of kind of supernatural escalation. So we'll start with Nantucket.
I think at one point a deer ran out. I had to swerve
That's
to miss
fucked
it.
up.
and like looking back, maybe the deer had like 4 eyes. It gave me a mean glare.
Yeah, and
Reached up and shook a hoof at you.
With all 4 eyes or just with some of them?
I mean, the 4 eyes are on. It's 2 on each side of the head, so just 2 of them.
It probably reflects in your rear lights. So, like, as it looked around, you would get the quadruple glint when you didn't expect it.
Right. A cubic.
I love that.
Cubist. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you doing on your turn?
I mean, I gotta hit this thing, right?
You either pay the price or take the penalty.
And the penalty is 1 crash.
Yes.
I only have 1 crash.
Yeah. There's ways to repair crashes, but you just would pay an action, and you can see that this road situation is pretty chill, and it will get a little dicey later.
Yeah, the cost, like taking the action, is just the time you need to deal with it, or the correctly, right?
Yeah, I think I'll pay the price, but now if I move, I can't stay here, because if I stay here, I'll go back and then start my turn in this thing again.
You could probably spend a move to just stay still.
I'll just go back here.
Cool. So yeah, you were up at the front of the pack as a hairpin was coming up, and you were just building too much speed, so you pull back and then
I just don't hold the brakes. I start fishtailing a little bit.
in the middle of a drift, big van drift.
Big Van Drift.
I love that.
Yes.
Name.
Great. Pillbuck, you've got a rock wall right on your what is that, 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
Got a hairpin turn coming up. What are you gonna do?
I am gonna, and it's gonna give me a crash otherwise.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna take the penalty. I'm gonna move to rally. I'm going to use my ability. I'm going to use my ability, Bluster, to decrease the price of a single obstacle on this hairpin turn.
Wow.
Right here.
Oh yes.
That three of us are now lined up on one side of.
Awesome. That is such cool usage. So we'll make this a 0. So this obstacle is
Like, I think we've seen this a couple times as we've made our way through the mountains. Like, I basically just create a little air bridge that makes the turn a little wider.
I love that. Awesome. Lydia, air bridge in front of you. What are you doing?
So I feel like this is a great time to use my stunt where I get to ignore my next crash.
Oh yeah.
So what I'd like to do, I think, is like I see like the air bridge open up and use that as an opportunity to try and kind of like continue to clear the way for everybody else. And like I don't know how this works necessarily. If I hit one of those hairpins, it will negate the crash for me, right? But will it like do anything to the obstacle? Because they're not really enemies, right?
Yeah, so this next hairpin in front of you has no price anymore, so it's just free.
Okay.
So we don't have to pay it. But
Okay.
if you were to
Awesome.
take a crash, the next one, you just don't take it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna use that move, and I feel like just continue where I am because I'm not gonna get hit or hurt or anything.
Great. And for my turn, I am a stunt master, so I'm just going right on the hairpin and spinning out and just
Nice.
kind of
Nice.
swagging on everybody here.
Yeah.
You can't really
Yeah.
handle my shit at this point, so yeah. Fully Akira style, kicking out the back leg of the motorcycle, and thank you for the air bridge. Really needed it.
Sick.
Great. So it's the end of the round, and everything flows. All the obstacles flow, and then we will go ahead. That one doesn't hurt anybody because of the awesome move Tony did. So we're going to make another rock wall. It's going to be on the alternate side where I am. That was dumb. So I'll have to pay that price next time. And
as you're
we
flipped backward looking at us bragging, we all see the rock wall encroaching behind me.
As I go like this, behind me is a rock wall coming up. Yeah, so next we get our first event on the board. This on the second round, and every other round after that, we place the event on a random tile with an obstacle. We have 5 tiles with obstacles, so I'm going to roll a dice, and it is on the 5th tile. So it's this rock wall right here, number 5. So remember, we all need to hit an obstacle when we all need to get this event before the road situation is done. Great.
So if somebody was immune from their next collision, they could go over and hit that one.
Perhaps.
For
Correct.
example.
Right.
Visiting an event is free. Once you're on the tile with it, you immediately trigger it. for this example, you would have to get hit by an obstacle, but the event costs nothing unless you want some bonus shit. So we'll start with. Oh, go ahead.
Do events move at the end of the round too?
Yeah, events will flow as well. So Nantucket.
I should have respect. I can't take any of these hits. The event is free though, so I'm going to move here, pay the price, and then I do the event.
Yeah. Okay, so this event is nested in a rock wall. So the wall will like psychedelically emerge in front of you, thinking it's going to overtake you, but instead, you have to tell the mountain your name and record yourself in its memory. Do not go to rally, and we move every obstacle to a random tile.
I mean, I tell the mountain my name. And, I'm kind of scared. I've never been inside a mountain before. And I yell, Nantucket. And Jody also is just screaming her own name. Is that all I tell it?
You can, your name and record yourself in its memory. So if that's you physically marking the space or doing something else here.
I think I crank the tape deck radio so that the sonic waves, almost like pressing a record, leave some physical embodiment of the sound we're making.
Awesome. So there are some other options you have if you want to lessen the penalty here, which is moving every obstacle to random tile. You can pay 1 health, but you go to rally, so you're safe. You can pay 1 crash, so the obstacles don't shuffle, or you can pay 1 set and all obstacles stay in place for the next round.
I'll pay a health. I got a lot of health.
Great. So you pop to rally and you embed a piece of the path within your chassis. So you describe that.
The wizard and the dragon painted on the van. Previously, I didn't have enough paint to do the background, but now the background is this mountain path, and the wizard and the dragon are facing off in it.
Cool.
You said before that you didn't do a good job of painting in your own estimation. Is the background intensely beautiful or the same level?
The background's beautiful and immaculate, and then it looks like a 16-year-old
little kid draw. Yeah, it's very good.
Just a stone 16-year-old painted a dragon and a wizard over.
The proportions are just all weird.
Right.
Awesome. I love that. All right, we got Pillbuck next. Do we need to shuffle? Yeah, we got to shuffle. Okay, so the first one.
I thought they didn't shuffle if I paid a health.
If you pay 1 crash, they do not shuffle.
Oh,
but you're safe from whatever is about to go down now. So start with the rock wall. I'm rolling 1 die for the row and another die for the column, which is how we do it. So we got the 3rd row and the 3rd column for this rock wall. For that hairpin, we've got the 2nd row right there. This one will go right here as well. That's dangerous. Next up, we've got right dead set in the middle. And I think there is 1 rock wall left. Yeah. And that will go up here to me. Damn it.
Can't get away from those rock walls. Does the mountain memory move stay? What's the deal with it?
Let's see. Let me check. We'll have this stay and it will flow off the board because it will stay and then we'll get the next one.
So theoretically we could visit there if we wanted to.
Yeah, if you wanted to hit that right now, you could.
Okay, cool. Yeah, considering I'm gonna use one of my moves to regain my crash. Since I was already at rally.
This is going to be such a cool maneuver that you're doing. You're threading 3 obstacles to.
It looked really cool in the mind's eye, even if on
Yeah.
you know, that was those both my moves, and the mountain memory will trigger. Let's see. I look at it and I tell it that my name is Lee Epps.
A lie.
It's so good.
Going on the internet and telling lies.
If
Awesome.
you weren't doing it, I was doing it.
I just want to make sure. So, Sarah, if you want to do it, I'm happy to not.
No, you do it. You do it.
Everybody lie.
Say my name is Lee Epps.
You see it wrong, you lie to it. This is the rule of the road.
Do you want to get any bonus stuff like paying a health to go to rally, a crash to not shuffle the obstacles, or a set to lock them?
Let's see. I'm very safe right now. Yeah, I'll pay a set.
Cool.
That's both the crashes and the pips, right?
Yeah, so it'll just be 1 health and 1 crash for a set. It doesn't have to be the whole thing.
Gotcha. I go, my name is Lee Epps. I lean out the window and like start laughing, and then while I'm not paying attention, all of a sudden I like just slam into a rock wall that didn't seem to be there the second before, almost as if the mountain knows and is paying me back. But it's so focused on me that it doesn't remember to shift all this stuff around this go.
Yeah, you're like mastering the psychedelia here.
Yeah.
So because you did that, you speak with the mountain and answer one of its questions.
Ooh.
So yeah, I think the question might be like, why are you making the transition from this part in your life to the next one, to what's beyond the mountain?
Why am I? Like, I don't think Lee Epps or Pillbuck views this as like leaving one part behind for another part. I think for him, this transition is like he is just constantly chasing one like massive weather system. And this was a moment in which the pressures of life finally pushed him through to the west. Like, he doesn't view these as two separate things. Like, he views this as like an extension of everything that came before, and an emergent into where it's pushing him now, more so than anything else.
Awesome. A tender moment on the road. It happens, everybody. Cool. Sarah, what are you doing for your turn?
I feel like I see that like you're up in that position that you've been in, and you keep getting kind of like bullied, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm fully drifting within inches of a rock wall.
Yeah, so I want to move into this space, and it will negate the crash that I would have had. But for my other action, I want to launch everything in the current tile. So I want to launch you out of the way.
Cool.
Do all launch things have to land in the same tile?
No, you can choose where things land, but you got to launch yourself as well.
Okay. So I feel like what this looks like is it's the rock wall. And what I do is there's I turn on the humidifier inside my car. I just lean over and like slam the button, and it begins to humidify the car, like steaming up the windows, so you can't really see into the car to see what's happening. And I pull a secret lever that I've installed that makes the front of the Geo kind of like fold down into like absolutely that battle car's wedge. And I purposely like kind of climb up on the rock wall to get underneath you, and hit the jump jack button, which then launches you, I think, here over by Pillbuck.
Nice.
And then I kind of launch to this position. And then
Beautiful.
does the rock wall stay, or do I launch it as well?
Launch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put it back here.
Nice. What a powerful launch.
It was good. It was good.
Welcome, Noob Soup and DW Gaffy. We were playing some Torq. Yeah, I lied to the mountain. I'll do it again too. They can't stop me.
Oh wait, I could launch and get the memory before it leams, right?
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
retcon that I do that?
Do it.
It's okay. Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna launch clear back for mountain memory.
Great. So hit it. Now it's your time to tell the mountain your name and record yourself in its memory.
As the humidifier continues to mist up the windows, Lydia inside will kind of do one of this on her side, just with a hand. So there's no, she draws a little turkey, and as she does, she says, she tells the mountain that her name is Misty, and the way she records the mountain in its, what would she do?
Yeah, do you want it to reflect on yourself, your vehicle, or the space around you?
Let's do the space. Let's do it on the vehicle.
Cool.
And that would be this is it, becomes a part of the chassis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just launched my car a bajillion times. So I think what happens is I hit as I launch, I hit the side, and actually a rock from the wall becomes embedded in the metal plating on this little geo, and it literally looks like a meteor hit my car.
That's so cool. Awesome. Do you want to grab any of the bonus stuff? So paying 1 health, crash, or 1 set? Or are you good just how you are?
I think, let's see. I want to pay 1 crash and memorize the name of one who has passed before.
That's really cool. Aaron, do you have that random name generator on you?
I can certainly bring it up very quickly.
That's radical. And that's probably in the, the Meteor Slam.
Yeah, it's literally, it can be on the rock, facing out. It's just kind of carved into the rock or spray painted on the rock. So-and-so was here.
Colleen Wynn was here.
Colleen Wynn was here.
Cool.
Oh, Colleen.
Colleen is on the west. We can find Colleen. Awesome. For my turn, I'm going to wrap it all together. And because Sarah so generously paid to crash, we don't have to shuffle the obstacles. So I'm just going to continue my round-long drift. Just kind of, when I'm starting to do donuts at this point. So I'm going to get back here. I'm technically running into heavy traffic, but I can choose whether or not to hit my friends because we're all drivers. So I'm actually not going to crash into you, my friends. So
excellent.
Maybe we could remember that deed later. But I am going to go ahead and let my name known. I'm not going to lie to the mountain. I'm going to say that my name is Lydia Pockets, and I was here. And I don't want to. I don't want anything to do with this psychedelic horror show because I've been I'm fully turned around. I don't like it down here, and I want to get out as fast as possible. So I think we're all kind of peeling off. We can kind of look at the road as one direction, and we're all going into the rally the same way to like peel off into what will be our next rest stop. So thanks everybody. That was road number 2, Reverberator.
We got so many milestones, right? We launched someone out of harm.
Yes.
So that's one. We got 3 lies to the mountain. So that's 4 milestones. And did anybody get hit? I didn't get hit.
I sacrificed a life. Is that different?
And I sacrificed a crash.
I don't think sacrificing is getting hit by stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I think we all paid the cost rather than taking the damage.
Yeah.
It sounds like in the neighborhood of 8 milestones. So that's a lot. Milestones come in 3 flavors: small, big, and group. A group milestone is something you'd spend a campaign doing. A big milestone, you can build with a couple small milestones, which we have 8 of. So there we are. So yeah, in the adventure, we would move on to the next rest stop, which is called Middle Mountain, which is a hidden community under the mountain that is encased with jungles, and everybody's playing new sports in every quadrant of this area. So we would each make up a sport and go play it. But looking at the time, we are running a little bit right when we as players said we want to stop. So how are people feeling?
I'm good. I'm good to either play the rest stop and stop, or stop right here, whatever people are feeling.
Yeah. Not fight this boss. Fight this boss isn't an option.
I'm fine going the whole way through also.
Yeah, what do people think?
Could we skip to the boss?
We could skip to the boss.
I enter a cheat code. I pull up the console commands.
You have access to a secret. You follow the music in your heart, and you know, like, a secret like way under the rest stop to get us to the boss.
I create a weird air bridge out into the abyss, and then you two get on top of Pockets' thing, and she launches us all up off of the air bridge. And then the crane reaches up and grabs onto the next level's floor base and pulls us up into
I know clip through the rest up.
Our stowaway starts playing an ocarina that kind of like light shimmers around us as we teleport safely to the ground.
If you are just joining us right now, you can also type !vroom in for a chance to win your very own copy of Torq.
Yeah, and everybody, thanks for watching. We're about to head into the last encounter. Because this last rest stop that we passed through is filled with sports, I need everybody to just feel like you got hit in the head by a dodgeball, and then we're good to go on. So let's get that kind of rubbery schmack.
Yeah, I can. Is it weird that I can smell the dodgeball and like hear the sound, like the thunk sound that it makes?
Killer. I didn't expect us to go right into the next one, but it's something you can do. Rest stops are optional. You can just continue on to the next scenario. And that is the final road phase 3, in the shade of a big rock of gold.
Oh, can we have healed at the last rest stop also?
Yeah, we heal up.
That's what the dodgeball was for.
Yeah.
It has some Neosporin on it. The transitive properties of dodgeball
will fix anything wrong with your car.
I'm going to open up the upgrades that we spend small milestones. So small upgrades only last 1 road phase, so they're like temporary buffs. So we have got 8, so that's 2 each that we can use, and you can use small upgrades to get an extra set, 2 extra health, an extra move that you can use once. You can ignore the next obstacle, or you can ignore the effects of 1 collision. So is anything speaking to anybody?
Say them one more time for me.
We got, and I can type them and stuff, but 1 extra set, so a crash and a health, 2 extra health, 1 extra move, ignoring 1 obstacle, or ignoring the effects of 1 crash.
I think extra set is what's jumping out to me the most.
Same.
I only have that 1 crash, that 1 set, so I would love an extra one.
Cool.
Also, can I? I'm gonna retcon. I know we didn't do it, but can we do one of my checklist scenes for the last thing? Because I do have one I think would be good that would let us just kind of quickly do it, and that's bring down the clouds for a Misty Dream Tour through the community. So maybe we could each just embody a really quick scene of what we saw on the Misty Dream Tour through the community in the clouds.
Yeah, let me quickly describe this community. It's in the margins of what lies before and what lies after. It's a way station, a prosperous rest stop that's now a secret mile marker. There's lush green everywhere. It's a verdant forest within the mountain. And the last thing we notice is how every door is propped open. So I think for me, I go on kind of a automatic walk through this place. I just am put through a tribulation on the road, and I kind of just let my legs go. And I'm going to kind of mistily dream walk through this town and see its prosperity and kind of fading into what it is now.
Sweet. I think I get caught up in the lush vegetation of it. So I set up my my weather preview mode out in the middle of the woods. I think this is like one of the first times it's for me, and like if people come out here, that's great, but I'm just gonna enjoy it myself. I think I pick up a couple plants. The cat gets really attached to this like one flower, and so I dig it up, repot it really well, keep it solidly irrigated, and it's in the back of my thing now also.
Beautiful.
I dream like half a stanza, like that Kublai Khan poem.
It's beautiful.
But it's, pleasure domes, stately pleasure domes of Xanadu. That kind of stuff.
Gosh dang it. I think in the swirling dreamscape, I dream of the person, the two people that originally arrived in Middle Mountain, and like this place in between, and found something that they could name home, and like the ones that kind of founded Middle Mountain.
Cool. Hey, that was great. Great idea, Tony.
Thanks. It was really easy because this game is so well designed that I just have so much shit I can just pick up.
I'm trying to say thanks to you
to let Will get this next road set
How
up.
nice was that? Great. So, like I said, in the shade of a big rock of gold, we're on the other side of the mountain, and guess what? The entire mountain range is shimmering heat gold. On this side of the world, the mountain on your side is here, a many-colored golden sheet, spangled, heat distortion radiating off of it, causing it to dance in your rearview mirror, almost blinding. A vibration passes through the air, and pouncing from the hot ridge is a tight group of vehicles in formation. Here's where we're going to put it all together: obstacles, enemies, events, and a boss. So we're going to start with three. First, we're going to place all of us on the road right now. I will warn you that there will be a fast freak on you instantly. So I'm going to go in the front. I'm feeling brave. I chose for 2 extra health and then an extra move one time. Look at this cool formation.
Oh yeah, I am going to do...
Oh, how much did each one cost? I guess I didn't think about that.
Oh, everything costs 1 milestone, so you just have 2 milestones to use.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. And I'm gonna do +1 also.
And big milestones are like small ones, but they're permanent. And then group milestones are things that change the world.
Okay.
So by finishing this scenario, we'll get a group milestone, which
nice.
Get a world map, that kind of stuff. Great. So first we got these flake gliders, which are wings, wheels, and a chugging engine spitting neon fog. There's going to be 1 on each of us, and then 3 at random. This says Flake Gilder, which is also great.
Yeah, I like that. Given
thought
the
we
gold
just
mountain.
Yeah, given the gold motif, the Flake Gilder is
That's how design works, by strategically fucking up. Great. So we got these three, which we're going to get spots for. This one is going to stay here. You can see I'm just rolling out random areas to put stuff. So I got this one right here. Sorry, Nantucket. It's a hard life out here.
That's what I feel. I feel like that's Nantucket's lot in life.
We've got another flight glider here. So there we are. And additionally, there are obstacles, rocks of gold. Every round, add a gold boulder tile to the grid on a random tile. So the sky is raining down here. Start the road phase with 3 randomly placed gold boulders.
Would you say we're following the Golden Boulder Road?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're off to see a particular freak.
You know what I've heard about the Golden Boulder is that the shoulders on the road are incredibly good.
These planes in Spain.
Oh man.
I'm ready to hang up and leave now.
You're getting straight up bullied right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the really impressive ones are the older shoulders on the Golden Boulder Road.
Yes.
Let me double check to see if we place first or place last. I think
Because we keep on putting ourselves down. It's got a good feel to it. Like, it feels very much like we didn't plan on this. We came around and this is what was going on. But
the whole idea is that the road starts at the worst moment, and then that's what forces you to act. So, but why not just double check the rules on this big, beautiful book in front of me? Cool. It looks like we place first, and then everything goes around us.
Look, you were right.
Cool. Guess you just got to get out of this one, Aaron. I mean, look at me. I don't have it much better than you.
Right. I mean, I at least feel beefy enough to just like crash into some of these.
I'm gonna be good. And if I die, I love dying on stream and games. That's like that's fine.
Dying to the last minute's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a way to go.
So we are, and remember, the boss. Look at this big nasty freak here. Is not even on the board yet. So.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Great. And on this boss has 2 lives, so it will come back from the dead once we get it, and it will spawn events when it does die. So
awesome.
Just to keep in mind. So we will start with the Flake Gilder. Let me just fix that here. Gilder, that's the money in Final Fantasy.
It is. Yeah.
Gilder.
It really is.
Yeah.
That was a nerd check, and gotcha.
Oh shit. Oh, they didn't know till right now.
Oh, right now.
It also does provide a really interesting reality for none of us did. We all rolled pretty much in the middle of things, but if you have like a 3 or a 4, you're going to be moving first and getting a chance to react to the fact that there's a dude on you at the start of every single encounter.
Great. So we're going to start with the Flight Gilders, and their whole deal is they have the move scattering. So they get 1 action per turn. They want to move into a tile with a driver and launch that driver into danger or another driver. So we will start here. Everyone has a Flake Gilder on them, so we're going to just keep these folks set here. They don't want to get into any more trouble. We resolve from left to right, top to bottom, like reading a book. So next up is this Flake Gilder, who is going to launch me into the most danger, which is with Nantucket.
Oh no.
That is the deepest and heaviest traffic here. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself launched. Hopefully we can teamwork it out, right?
Yep.
So no more things can fit in this tile. This is heavy traffic, Herbie fully loaded this tile. Um, to move into a tile with heavy traffic, collide with all, but take damage from only one source of your choice. Pay the price or take the penalty for all obstacles, and then immediately go to a rally with an event. That's if it had an event in it. So I crash with everything
Holy
and only
crap.
take damage from one. So this one loses everything. This freak loses everything. Nantucket, sorry. Sorry. And then I'm going to, as a sign of respect, take damage from Nantucket.
As a sign of respect.
I do have to pay my next action on the gold boulder, so I lose a turn or an action, but that is that for that Flake Gilder. And they're going to repeat this horrible dance over and over again.
But say
So
also, since you got tossed downwards, will you get activated on again? Potentially.
oh yeah, that is a chance. Let's see. It depends who has more health or not, and who is. I'm slower, so yeah, it would get me. Thank you, Tony. For that.
There's two. There's also there's two in there also too. So I didn't know if one would get each of you.
Yeah.
It was a legitimate question.
No, that's great. I mean, the whole thing is that it creates these horrible situations that we got to feel smart about getting out of. Speaking of, there's a Flake Gilder that's going to fly you. Do you want to go into the one with the?
I can't
gold,
go with y'all.
Yeah, the one with the gold boulder or the two flakies?
I think I'm gonna go with two flakies.
Great. Here, I'll move you there. Yeah. So you.
Oh, my extra. Hold on, my extra set is not there. All right.
Great. So you crash with both and take damage from one. So you would only, these things are weak, so you would only take one pip.
And they take one pip in their first one, right?
They both lose their whole first thing. Yeah, so these winged gliders basically are trying to pick you up and drop you in different places, and it's just pure carnage out here. So we'll get to this next middle tile, which is a disaster. We'll start with the first one. This Flake Gilder is going for enemies go for the slowest, weakest, nearest slowest, weakest enemy. So that's me. So this first Flake Gilder is going to launch my ass into the one with Pillbuck, right? I mean, that's the dangerous one, right? Hi. And
hi, buddy.
You just on the ground in front of you after you do this move, you just see my whole shit smash into the ground. So I'm going to crash in with both of these flake heads right here. So they are both actually canceled. I'm canceling them. And Pillbuck, you take a single. Oh wait, I actually crash you really hard. Yeah, you lose the first set, so the whole thing, and then I have to lose 2 health there too. Jesus. Okay. Now, Nantucket, where is this other Flake Gilder going to throw you? Oh, you're muted.
It's either got to be straight up top or over to Lydia, right?
Yeah. Which one seems more dangerous?
I mean, an enemy plus an obstacle seems more dangerous than an enemy plus a friend.
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Launched.
Great. So you take 1 health, and this Flake loses this one, and you got a boulder to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I will lose an action.
Great. We're gonna get these people back. I promise, everybody.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we are. Heck yeah, we are.
Just feel so bad doing this to all of you. Okay, so next and finally, this flaker is going to launch Lydia into, that's probably the next tile, right? This one right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to take 1 health damage. And these other ones are going to get zeroed out for the slam. And then it's time for us to bite back. So, Nantucket.
So I have to deal with this gold boulder, right?
Yeah. So either pay the price or take the penalty.
I can't take the penalty because I only have 1 crash yet, so I lose my second move, so I can't do anything.
Oh, no. So you would just lose 1 move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just dealing. You still have an action. Doing anything with an obstacle on the tile just means you got to spend 1. You don't do it immediately.
Launched into it and paid the price then.
I think that was just. I think we were just talking out of cycle. Like you were gonna have to pay the price.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna inflict a health on this poor remaining Gilder.
Nice. What does that look like?
I mean, I think I probably just landed on it. And then like ran over its wing so that it couldn't continue to fly.
I love it. Great. And that is your turn up to Pillbuck.
Move here and do 2 health of damage. I drop back, and as I drop back, like this, like a bunch of those plastic wraps from the Twisters just like shoot out of the back of my car and like wrap this thing up and like cut through these like kind of tense wings it has, like causing it to crash to the ground. I'm gonna do 2 health damage and just like take this dumb thing out though.
Awesome. I love that. Next up, we got Lydia.
So this guy right here is still happening, right?
Still the same old G. Bad shit.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to move over there and do like essentially the same thing to take it out, attacking it to inflict that 2 health damage.
Cool. What does that look like?
I think it launched me over into this lane, but as it happens, I grip the steering wheel and like start like drifting over and reach up and pull a rope from the top of my ceiling that literally just like lets one of the like releases a clip on one of the panels on the side of the car that just like smashes it like a newspaper swatting a bug. And then like pull it back up. So it's just this little plate that goes like like that.
Cool. Nicely done. And for me, I'm going to heal my friends because we'll need it. So I can heal 1 column of health. So let's go. How can I maximize this? Who do I feel worst about? Who needs a health?
I mean, Aaron, I, and you all do, but I have 0. I mean, if you heal whatever combination you heal, I am fine with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia's also hurt, so you could
Yeah.
drop back and heal Pillbuck and Lydia.
Oh, I can only do a column though. That's my restriction.
Yeah, so it's
So I can't do
what
it.
we are all
Yeah,
in
he can do
different columns.
one of the rest of us. That I would say. I mean, I have 3 damage right now. So does Kritzer. Nantucket, do you just have the 1?
I have 2,
You have 2?
but I'm fine.
Cool. I will stick in this row, and I'm going to start. Yeah, I'll heal you back up 1. But the way this looks like is my constructors are going to like start to automatically start to create structures like really quickly in the road. So this extra health is because you have some more cover to work within. So maybe the gliders you like are now under a quickly like super concrete bridge that you can roll under during this moment.
Cool.
That sound cool. And then for my second one, you know what? I am going to launch one of these motherfuckers back themselves. So let's see, you got this one out. So I want to take the one remaining. Let's see. Oh, did we get all of them? I think we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Y'all are good at this game. Then I'm just going to myself move back to a safer spot. A strangely conservative move from Jobst, but that's what we've come to expect. Great. So for the next round, a geode tumbling at speed, a driver gyroscoped in the center, the big boss Carrot enters the field.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to roll a random location for this one to start, and it is right here because I rolled a 2 and a 1. Carrot gets 2 actions per turn, and I'm going to roll which ones they are because they are dangerous and freaky and cool. But before that, we are going to have the road flow. So this flight glider will move back. This gold boulder will move off the thing. This one will go back. This one goes back. Yeah. And then I'm going to go ahead and every round add a gold boulder to the tile at the grid on the grid at random. So I'm going to roll up a random tile that is a space no one is at, which is right up here. And Carrot is added to the spot with an HP of 7. You can see that only at the beginning of the game will our HP be related to how fast we are, and we can change it through play. Enemies will have kind of a mismatched HP, so they'll be off the median in some way, which make them either easier to kill or moving slower, and you have the advantage being a perfectly tuned machine. So we're going to start with Nantucket.
Count us off, Nantucket.
I mean, I think my first move, I can inflict a crash to a target and adjacent tile. So I'm going to crash Carrot, take away.
Awesome.
So brackets. And then I don't know. Then I guess I'll just do 1 health, right?
Sure.
I'll stay here. I'm aggressive. I'm just like sliding open the side door. Jody's taking the wheel, and
Jody, that's really. I love that image.
Jody took the wheel.
I take the wheel. I just have the bass guitar, and it's some real Battle of the Bands Sonic attack.
Heck yeah.
So I believe you do some super damage to this thing because it had exposed health. So the next instance of damage clears out the lane of health.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, because it wasn't protected by vehicle.
So I X out that whole thing.
Yes.
Weak to Sonic moves.
Look at that. Yeah, you just see probably
Geodes cracking.
Yeah, like they are just exploding off. Great. And that's your turn. So it's Carrot's move. We got 3 moves, so I'm going to roll a dice to see which ones this freak does. So we're going to do exfil first and then Tecton. So it's not in any danger, so it's not going to exfil. So let's just go to...
Go ahead and tell us what exfil does, just so we get a...
Yeah, so Carrot's got 3 things. Great suggestion. Mantle, Exfil, and Tecton Ray. Mantle, give a fellow enemy ignore this round. Exfil, move out of danger. And Tecton Ray, pull all obstacles. You can see that Carrot has a fourth ability that unlocks after they crash, which is Refract, which is inflicting 2 health damage on the lowest HP driver, which is freaky. But Carrot can only effectively do Tecton Ray, so it's going to pull all obstacles toward Carrot. So we're going to move this gold boulder to where Nantucket is. This one would move here, so we're going to put it right here. And then this one would go 1 obstacle closer. Just to make Pillbuck's life more difficult. Actually, I think it would go here because it's a pull. Great. And let's see, is that the last thing it does? So it's going to give a fellow enemy ignore this round. So let's give Carrot gives itself an ignore. So the next instance of damage is ignored by Carrot. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Love it. All right. Now it's Pillbuck's turn.
I am gonna do some shit.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. If your shit sets up my shit, I'll be so pleased.
I am gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna create. I'm gonna duplicate another obstacle in play. So, and place it ahead.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna do this. I am going to then slag this tile with Carrot in it. So we've got slag Carrot now.
Oh my god. I see what's happening right now.
And then I'm gonna move back to Rally for a second. To get out of the way. Whatever other people need to do. It's great. Those are my 3 moves.
Wow. Are you ready for the alley-oop? What's it going to be, Sarah?
So I'm going to does it still have ignore on it?
Let's see. I think the first instance of damage will be ignored and the next one will hit.
Okay. So I'm going to my first move is let's see. How do I want to do this? Had a plan and now okay, yeah. So I'm going to do I'm gonna move for my first one into here. I'm going to ignore my next crash, and then I'm gonna launch everything in this current tile.
You're using your extra move to do that?
I'm using my extra move to do that.
That's fucked up.
So I want to launch this boulder at this flake glider. And then I want to launch this boulder at this flake glider. And I want to launch Carrot into this space as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to launch me, I think, to this position here.
Rad. Can you describe to me what kind of Circus Olay shit you just made happen?
Yeah. So I've got all these different metal plates that are on the Geo. So I think what happens is I see Pillbuck slag that spot, and given that we've kind of worked together, I understand the alley-oop. I dart through the different enemies, and as I do, I kind of I hit a button that vat of slime actually starts getting pumped through tubes that are behind the metal plating, and it oozes out to give it like a protective coating. And then once I do that, a different button that makes the plates just like go down and out on little forklifts that get underneath all of these like spatula arms. And I hit the jump jack that lifts the car up and then like launch the different spatula things, sending everything in like perfectly coordinated directions and sending little slime like globs everywhere. As the jump jack then like flips me, like I do one of those cool like speed racer, the car's spinning as I go over and Nantucket, and you just see pockets inside like pulling more stuff out of pockets seemingly for no apparent reason as I land on the other side.
That is the most Wachowski's speed racer shit I've seen in this game.
That's all I want is speed racer in this game.
Awesome. Okay, so you have destroyed Carrot that way by smashing with the flight glider. So this gets dead. This gets dead. We get a new geode. Pops open. Look at this. It's a geode, everybody.
Ooh.
And then Carrot is going to enter next round. Respawning back from the dead. Actually, it makes more sense that it would be on the location. So next round, Carrot is going to go here. But what I'm going to do, so another thing happens when Carrot is totaled. Everyone gets a big milestone. So good job. Then the boss is refreshed once totaled. That's the special boss move that this one has. And it adds 3 more flake gilders. And when refreshed, it gives Carrot a 3rd action to use every turn. So let's see if we can do it. All right. Let's get these flake heads. I was too enraptured with the description. I should have been doing this, but wow.
We were doing some.
It's hard when we paint these kind of beautiful mind pictures to focus on anything else.
And that one's going to go. These are getting seated in the ahead because they're next. And it's my turn. And I don't want to go into the gold boulder hell zone. But I do want the geode. Interesting. The geode, just for description, it triggers when Carrot is totaled for the first time. The event is placed on their last tile. The geode cracks open, hissing with smoke and boiling sludge. You can pay 1 health to move all obstacles to the location of your choice. Must be on the grid. Or pay 1 crash and 2 health to total all flake gliders. So that'll stay on. I'm going to go ahead and help out. I'm going to go here. And heal up this whole column. I don't think it hits Pillbuck because
I'm in rally, yeah.
Yeah, it's in rally, so we'll go ahead and do that. And that was my move. And I'm basically bracing myself for a high octane next round. No, wait, that's such a bad place to move because all the rocks are going to kill me.
Yeah, I was curious, but you know.
You'd think I'd know better. Okay, so this round is over, so the road will flow. Let's go ahead and move these boulders back and the geode. These flake gliders and the boulder are going to lose. Yeah, and we can X those out. The boulder has to get refreshed somewhere, so that will be in the first row. Nantucket, you just can't be this unlucky. This is
I love it.
But luck comes in other forms because no flake gliders on you. Great. And Carrot will jump back in to where they last were. So let's put it right here. And everyone moved, so we are going to go ahead and get the next round started. with these flake gliders starting their dangerous dance again. So this one doesn't want to move. It's going to move to the slower, weaker one, which is me. And it's going to launch into the most dangerous tile, which is this one. So what that looks like, it's going to just dive bomb in and then hook my vehicle, my bike that's got all the construction equipment trailing behind. And the things were like auto working, so I'm now detached and I just got like tumbled into the back, nearing the rally, trying to regain control, and I'm trying not to smash myself on the gold boulders while that happens. Cool. This one is going to throw Lydia Pockets. I know it's not your last name, but it just sounds right.
It's good. It's good.
Lydia Pockets. What's the next most dangerous place? It's probably with Carrot.
Mm.
No, it's here, right?
I mean, yeah. More items, it feels like, rather than Big Scary Boss Man.
More heat. So that means everything that you crash into all sources, and you only take one crash in response.
But I used my ignore next crash move, and I haven't crashed yet. So would that be?
Yeah,
I just perfect. Ignore it.
Yeah.
Sick.
Okay, great. And so I think that means you wouldn't crash Nantucket either.
Yeah, I feel like what happened. The
Nantucket also has avoid first collision too.
It's like I get flung, like, and I can tell that I'm going to hit Nantucket, but I like punch the roof, and an airbag like pops out that acts as a parachute that like slows my like trajectory just enough that Nantucket's able to kind of like drift out of the way.
Cool. Yeah, you both ignore the crash. Great job. And this next flake doesn't have anywhere that they can go that's safe. So just gonna stand still. Bring it to Nantucket's turn.
All right. I will lose one move to the first gold boulder. I will take one crash from the second gold boulder. Oh, so that I can retain one move to inflict one crash to the target in an adjacent square, which is Carrot. They've seen it before, just making them vulnerable. So I think I just screech around these gold boulders and basically slam on the brakes and spin out and crash into Carrot, like hit it with the rear end of this van and inflict that crash that way. And I'll be scooting with the gold boulders.
Well done. So it's another option everyone has when they get to low health is to push it. When you run out of crashes, you can push it. To push it, ask your fellow players to donate one of their future actions. If they don't have any actions, they can donate an action from the next turn. For every action a player gives you, regain a lost set, so the crash with the health. And you can bargain and strike deals for actions here. You can only push it once per road phase, and if you run out of crashes, then you're totaled.
I'm not worried about it yet.
Great. All right, let's boogie. So Carrot has 3 actions per turn now. Can move out of danger, pull all obstacles, give a fellow enemy ignore this round, and refract, which is deal 2 health damage. So we're gonna it's definitely going to do the mantle ability, so it's going to cover one of these flake gliders. Let's see which one. It'll be the one deeper down in here. So this one has ignore for the next crash. Basically, it's just covered with molten gold. Kind of one of those
Sick.
Game of
Commonly
Thrones.
known to just protect you completely.
Yeah, it's so strong.
Very strong.
And then Carrot is going to refract, so do 2 health damage to the lowest HP driver, which looks to be Nantucket.
Damage sponge. Damage sponge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the damage. It's
Yeah,
all I got.
you're chunky. You've got it. It's basically taking the heat and brightness off of the mountain and focusing that energy and just blasting it through your van. So your tubes are warming up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a hot one.
It's a hot one out there. And then finally, Carrot's going to give Ignore to another Flake Glider, and let's just give it to one over here.
Hannah, do you want me to carry this bookcase out to your car? Are you out back or out front?
Cool. Let's move on with Pillbuck next.
I can just run it out there right now.
I'm gonna spend a move to get all svelte again.
Blanket for.
Just to slide it on so I don't scratch it up too bad.
Okay. Do you want to go lay the blanket down?
And then I am going to let's see, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna slag. I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna slag Carrot.
Awesome, and that is your extra move.
Yep.
Done. Awesome. The extra move is good.
It's
really
totally changes the action economy.
Milestones, hell yeah. Okay, great. Carrot is set up to knock down. Is this the same alley-oop going again? Let's see.
Yeah, bud. So remind me again, I've got the 2 gold boulders in this square. How do I interact with those?
So you can either pay the price or take the penalty. The price will be 1 action per boulder or taking 1 crash per boulder.
Okay, so if I take that will wipe my crash, right?
Yep, that'll take that 1 crash. If you want to take both, it will wipe both crashes. And so you only have the 1 remaining.
But I still have my 2 actions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to let's see. I have to be able to move and do the thing. So I'm gonna move into this square, I think. Let me read this and make sure. And what's Carrot's situation? Like its HP is vulnerable, right?
Yeah, and it will take double damage on the next thing.
I feel like the right thing to do is inflict 2 health damage to that target, right? Like that's meaning it would be 4.
Yeah, and it will delete this extra health here, so it will be taken out.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to take Carrot out.
Cool. Describe it to me.
Pockets is in this, like, watch Nantucket avoid the boulders, but she's looking back at Carrot, so she gets hit by both of them before dropping the door of the back, like the back of the car that's like totally open, and like slamming on her brakes, so or no, throwing into reverse, I guess, to like scoop up like Carrot, who I feel like is facing like the back of the thing, and getting underneath the tires before then like wrenching up to cause the vehicle to like tilt drastically like forward, and because there's like geode stuff everywhere, it takes out the tires and causes 2 of Carrot's like go-go things to just completely explode, and it wildly spirals out as I guess like the back door, to like reflect the crash damage. The back door of my car is just ripped off entirely, or the hatch rather.
Beautiful. And Carrot explodes into a shimmering sheet of gold. The last geode is on the board. I'm gonna go ahead and just click on this as my own. Oh, my headphones just dropped out here. 1 second.
Now's our moment.
Hurry, quick. Describe cool stuff.
And that's
Am I
how
coming in
we
okay?
took over the
Yeah.
mountain.
Wow. Okay. Am I coming in through? Yeah.
Yep.
Great. And Carrot is annihilated as we scream down the Odessa Road, earning one final group milestone.
Woo!
Job, everybody. Your campaign of Torq has just begun. Welcome to
Woo!
the Odessa Road, dotted with communities, strange flora and fauna, and a weird world for you to create, discover, and tear through. This is episode 0, to be continued.
Did we totally lose Aaron? I was staring at other stuff.
Yeah. Aaron bailed.
Aaron bailed. Let me move some things around on stream so we don't look quite so bizarre.
Good job, everybody.
This was really fun. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you all killed it.
We killed it, and then when it came back, we killed it again.
Yeah,
Double.
we did. I loved it. It felt like the party had like good dynamics between like setting up the actions, like whether the way that it happened, that it was like damage, weaken, damage, weaken, damage. Like that was really cool to see that dynamic kind of come out of the way we were stacked. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, and with no quarterbacking or anything, so you just fell into it.
Yeah, that was sick.
We're so good at this game.
We're really good at this game.
The first round, I was worried with the amount of shit that got added to the board. I was like, we're about to enter some death and dying mechanics here. See what's up.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm in the middle of writing a bestiary for another game, and like a lot of the things, it's like 1 health, 1 damage, 1 health, 1. Like they're very, but it's also like I want people to be able to wade into those things and just be like and take them all down. And so it was cool to see them all stack up and it feel like really precarious, and then be able to shift things pretty dramatically. Let's do our reaction roll. See if Aaron's back in just 1 second. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game we just played and talk to them about that game. Today we are sitting down with Will Jobst to talk about Torq, which is just released in print a couple months ago, and we're entering Torq-odathon, a month celebrating all the amazing things coming out of Torq and Will's corporate partnership with Toyota. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, it will be a summer-long jam called the Design Derby that will include me releasing a bunch of resources for the game. Additionally, the card, this adventure, the play kit, everything you need to make stuff, including assets and everything. And I will be really close with people submitting in the Discord and hanging out, maybe on stream reading stuff. So definitely check it out. You can find this my pinned tweet at twitter.com/will_JOBST.
Awesome. Well, I had an absolute blast playing. It was great to finally get it to the virtual tabletop with the mirror board setup we had. You can see that going down in the lower corner below us right now also too. But let's hear what everybody else thought, or at least what Sarah thought. Sarah, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play Torq?
Yeah, hi, hello. I'm Sarah Franco. I do a bunch of TTRPG stuff across several amazing communities. Like this one, you can see me on shows like or channels like Critical Misses or Nat 20 or Neon Lights Roleplay or TPK Roleplay. You can find me all the places: Twitch, Twitter, TikTok at Sarah Franco. This was a lot of fun. I really liked this game. Like I came in knowing that it was going to be like the car, a post-apocalypse world, but what I really liked about it was watching the kind of like the flavor of car apocalypse that everyone brought in. Like I loved seeing Tony like do like a more magic inspired, like leaning into that psychedelic like Maelstrom kind of vibe versus the much more like Speed Racer, Jump Jack kind of vibe, and like how well it all meshed together, and like having the mix between like the journey on the road and having that being very structured to the rest stops and having it being very like dynamic and like just open you're spouting truth in was really, really cool. Like it gave every like little moment like a different feel, so you didn't feel like you were bogged down in any particular spot. I really liked that. That was great.
Awesome. Do you have any questions you want to ask Will?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what other like cool bosses are there? Because the carrot was dope. Like that's a really cool idea. I want to know more about like the cool bosses in the game.
So there is a whole guide for building this stuff. So half of Torq is how to play and all the cool tables and stuff, and the other half is all tools to build stuff for the game. So we have one listed boss as kind of a template to use, whose name is Henry Unforgiving. And
Ooh.
Henry is a relentless pursuer riding around on a modified motorcycle with camouflage. And Henry is all about cloaking stuff and making things secret so you run into things by accident. But the game has this pretty big section of crazy tools to use for your game.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
represent like, here's a little something special, so it's like your little cool bike, and you would use one of these moves to be the cornerstone of a boss's loadout. So you can really kind of extrapolate mechanics. As you can see in this game, it's not about making something too easy. Like, you should make things as hard and strange as possible, because players are too smart for you always. So because the tools are just varied enough, you can make so many weird, cool combinations happen all the time. So yeah, whatever works for your campaign. It would be cool to make my ideas for a monster truck manual that
Oh,
has
heck yes.
your
Heck
bosses,
yes.
your big truck rules, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it'd be
that's
fun.
amazing. I like that a lot.
I can't wait for the Sunday in which that releases.
Kids seats are still $5.
The it was I had an absolute blast. I jokingly earlier was like, this just feels like any other game, like such a vanilla car battle game. No, I love the different elements that come through. People who are familiar with the channel, and Will, I know you know this, like I'm a big fan of how do we create games that would appeal to somebody who's traditional board game player, or kind of sneak them into role-playing stuff. This game is such a perfect blend of those two elements, the tactical realities of that, with the constant, like, tell me what that looks like reality, which lets somebody kind of decide, if I just want guns on my car, I can do that. That's fine. But if I want wind powers or jump jacks or, like, all the different things, I can do that. And then taking as much time as you want. Like, it was fun sometimes to just have Sarah be like, I'm going to take 1.5 to 2 minutes to just tell you how I demolished 5 bad guys all at once.
This is it. Yeah.
And what could easily be like, okay, I take out this guy, do this much damage to him, and just move on, right? Depending on what people are comfortable with. I think that's great from an approachability standpoint. But with that, I want to talk a little bit about the road stop pieces also too, because that, even the way that you did the dice stacking and the community building, has a very tactile, like, you're going to build this and set it up and decide what these are, and then you can decide how you narratively want to work through this, and that could be embodying the scene. All right, we're going to play it out as these 2 or 3 people, or it could just be describing what happens, again allowing people to really set the depth that they want to go to. I think I'm mostly curious for that around, like, the tactile issue. Did you start out with, hey, you're going to roll dice and stack them, or did you try other stuff before you went to that kind of mode for rest stops?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And thanks for all the kind words, both of you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for the tactility, I wanted the idea that you could go in this game with 2 6-sided dice and kind of infinitely make things. So every table is powered by 2 6-sided dice. The road stuff, 2 actions could be represented by 2 dice, and on the rest stop you are rolling these dice and making these structures for it. And that is something that is actually in Mad Max 2, where he almost dies and then he pulls out 2 dice from his pocket. I was like, I guess that's the dice I have to use. So it was just figuring out every possible thing to do with that. And ultimately, like, this is not a light game, but it is cognitively a light load. Like, there's stuff going on, and it's just about making things visible and clear and playing over the table with others, your friends and fellow players. And so at the rest stop, having physical structures as a place to show that like this is a big important place. There's lots of dice here. It's a quick one-to-one connection. So I really like that physical aspect, and this is something like this rest stop tech, putting dice as a point of interest and taking it away when you're done is something that has snuck into every single design I've done since. So I love it. And it was really beautiful how everyone worked with it, because you can do first person play with just your own characters or keep just among the drivers, and everyone built a different piece of the world through the rest stop. And it was just I like playing games where I can just watch people say cool stuff and join in sometimes. So
awesome. It's very cool. I could even see this as a very enjoyable solo experience if somebody just wanted to explore a world themselves. I think any GM-less game can, especially when it's tactical and tactile, can lend itself to that. Just a lot of really great things going on. I know you've talked a little bit about some of this in the podcast when Torq was kind of an early kind of phase of development. You've got the Summer Derby going on. What are some of your hopes for the future for Torq?
Yeah, I would love to see some reskinned Torq technology out there. I know that Viditya Valetti has been threatening to make a pod racer version of this, which just,
oh my gosh,
it
that
feels
makes
really
me
right.
so happy.
Yeah. There are a bunch of just like wild style mechanics that I put away as to not make this too cloudy and weird. So there's that episode of Speed Racer where there's the giant truck that's like miles long that Speed has to go to. And it's just like,
very good.
Yeah, I love that. Making a bunch of strange abilities and drivers and things like that. And basically making the tools available to as many people as possible. Yeah, I really like playing. Like I said, this is episode 0 of this campaign, so this will be a free thing people can just use as a resource to get an adventure going, whether they're playing on stream or with friends. Just a low to no prep. You can see that the only prep I had to do was just the digital tabletop, which I can do that for you. And so you can just step into the storyline, and there were already points when we were in the rest stop, for example, the runaway, we could have just built a whole story based on that. And there's enough tools in the book that it just totally supports whatever direction you want to go in. But yeah, so another thing I'd love to see more of is speed running and seeing how quickly people, like once I get a standard adventure out there, putting up a bounty on a time for it or something.
Oh, that's sick. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and making sure that you still get like a full feeling role-playing game session while still being snappy and weird.
Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I had a blast. I'm sure Aaron would have great things to say also if they weren't helping unload their sister's bookshelves and other stuff for the move out. So you look to Twitter for that later. I'm sure Aaron will say nice things. We also, Will and I talked a little bit about maybe even doing some future sessions, so you may see these characters or other stuff come back every once in a while here on stream. So if you enjoyed this, let us know. We the social media giveaway over on Twitter right now. But Will, if people want to find the game, besides going to the link down below us all, what's the best place for them to check it out?
If you want it in physical, you can go to goodluckpress.co and the physical edition. Also, if you want to add it, it comes with a physical cloth play mat.
Oh, that's so cool.
Stuff. And yeah, you can find it also at IPR as well. And for digital, you can grab it on itch.io on my page, which is Will_Jobst there too, or just Will Jobst. It'll be somewhere. And yeah, the pocket rules are available to everyone, and I'm going to make a plain text version available to anyone for anyone that wants to make stuff or if you just need it. But yeah, it was such a pleasure playing with both of you. Thank you so much for having me. This was such a blast.
It was a ton of fun.
A couple things we've got coming up on Thursday. We are on Thursday in the U.S. On Friday morning in the Philippines, we are playing Nevatham Zin with Sin, and Sam Mui is going to be running that for us. But I'm very excited to sit down and play that. It is a powered by the Apocalypse fantasy game where you are tower watchers trying to check out and see if the apocalypse is happening or not. It is, and so you're probably going to want to try to stop it. But who knows? It's your game. You decide what you want to do. But we're going to play that. And then on Friday, I am playing Frontier Scum, which is an acid Western by Carl Druid that's going to be coming out by Games Omnivorous on crowdfunding next month. And then last but not least, I'm going to go to New York. I may not be the king of New York, but I am going to go to New York. I'm going to go up to Hex & Co. I think the date on this is actually wrong. It ended up being next Saturday for Free RPG Day. We're going to be there with Banana Chan. Super Dylan might show up. If Richard Ruane will be there. Other people you've seen on channel, both designers as well as creators. We're going to just go hang out from 12 to 5 p.m. and play games and hang out with anybody who shows up. So if you're in New York City, come by, say hi, check out Hex & Co. It's been really fun to talk to a lot of my friends who live up there who always apparently have wanted to go, but have not yet. So I'm going to be heading up there just for the day to hang out for that. So no streams next weekend, and then we're going to be off for about a week and a half while I travel for another sibling's wedding. And so I'll be headed down to Dallas, Texas. Yeah, with that said, that's all the great stuff coming up. Go check out Torq. Until next time, we are all just going to wave at the screen until I take us offline. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Will. Say bye, everybody. Oh, wait, I have the wrong preview thing. Keep on waving. Oh, no, they saw us stop waving. It's horrible.